I'm blocking the screen. Whoopsie. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Oh, I forgot to take this down. Whoopsie. Okay. I'm making sure. Okay, I had some issues with my BGM earlier, so you're not hearing it like twice or anything like that, right? But hello, everyone. My forehead is not that big. It's why I have bangs. It just holds my massive brain. But welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Skyrim Sunday. I feel like we kind of had a Skyrim Sunday the other day, but not really. So it's actually been kind of a long time since we've rimmed the sky together, since we've had a proper like episode of Skyrim Sunday. So I kind of talked about this a little bit last week. But I think it was when my stream was shitting itself was when I last talked about it. But basically, okay, I have a plan, and David and I have put our brains together, and we have a plan. So here's the thing. I've always really enjoyed doing like role play playthroughs, kind of like playthroughs with a concrete beginning and end. You know what I mean? Like character development. I'm a slut for character development, right? And the thing is I love Vanya so much. She's such a fucking girl boss, okay? And if this is your first time seeing the Vanya playthrough, you'll understand why I love her so much in a second, and why she is such a girl boss. But the thing is it's a Legacy of the Dragonborn themed playthrough, right? And the thing with Legacy of the Dragonborn is like, it kind of takes forever, you know? And I'm just not great at staying focused. So I have an idea, and I've started creating a new mod list, still based on immersive and epic, but for a new character. And I'm not quite ready for it yet. There's some things I want to do, because I want it to be like, I low-key want it to be kind of cinematic. You know what I mean? Like I'm really like motivated after my debut with the lore video and everything like that. I'm really motivated to do more storytelling and integrate storytelling into my content more. You know what I mean? So I have like a plan. I want to make sure the mod list is stable first, because the mod I'm basing it around is Conquest of Skyrim, which is basically, we haven't done like a Civil War centered playthrough. Seven's playthrough accidentally became a Civil War centered playthrough, but like we haven't had like a Civil War playthrough where I wanted it to be the center. But Conquest of Skyrim is the mod I want to base it around, right? And Conquest of Skyrim essentially is a mod where you can kind of make your own side in the Civil War, and it kind of overhauls how you do the Civil War, and it looks really cool. And I've had my eyes on it for a while, but I don't want to jump the gun on anything until it gets an update, because apparently it's going to update soon. But also, I'm debating if I don't know, David literally grabbed me by the shoulders and was like, okay, no more big projects. No more big projects. You're done. You need to calm down. So I don't want to make it like a big thing, but I also don't want it to be like a small thing either to start a new playthrough. Like, I want to make like a trailer for it. I want to get like art of the character, like a key art visual, you know. I don't know, maybe write a theme for her. I don't know, you know. I want to do something. I want to give her like a little something, a little backstory, because I really like the lore video. So it'd be something kind of like that, but on like a smaller scale. You know what I mean? I have a lot of ideas, but anyway, what that means though is we're probably going to be saying bye-bye to Vanya in the coming months or so, right? She is a girl boss. She's also a war criminal, but I kind of want to figure out what we're doing with her. And she is going to come back. There's a lot of mods that I want to make her the center of a playthrough with, like the Vigilant, the sequel to Vigilant. That mod's getting another update soon. So we're definitely going to bring our morally questionable blood mage girl boss back, right? It's just going to be, you know, not quite yet. And I have some plans for some new characters as well to kind of introduce, because there's a lot of characters that you guys know, you know, but they're not, if you've read my book, you know them, right? But you don't know them if you haven't. And this is a character that's in my book, but I haven't played her in Skyrim yet. So I wanna put her over here. But welcome in everybody. Hello, hello, hello. But without further ado, let's get gaming. So let me change this from regular Skyrim. And before I do this, I'm gonna remember. Okay, BGM is off. Perfect. Okay, no mistakes over here. No scuff over here. Where the fuck is Skyrim? Where's the game? Where the fuck is the game? Here we go. Skyrim Special Edition. There we go. Okay. And let me turn my audio back on. Now you might hear some birds. We are currently in Solitude. So we have a few different things. Oh,
until next time.
Hi. We have our boner army reassembled.
Like
look at our fellows. Coral, thank you so much for the follow. You know, I guess I keep girl boss. Welcome to the stream. I made a herring and hare people for my D&D game named Harry Harrington the 17th. I love that for you. That's fantastic. So, like I said, if you haven't seen our character before, I'm going to show you her because she's great. This is Vanya.
And what do I get? Guard duty.
I'm trying to be cunty. Can you leave me alone? Thank you. Anyway, back to serving cunt. This is Miss Vanya. Her whole shtick is she is a noble woman with a dark secret. She's secretly a blood mage. And she does a lot of weird, fucked up magic shit. But she's also just really cunty. So she's kind of a no-nonsense kind of gal, and that's why we have all these boners. Is my personal headcanon is she summoned them to be like, I'm so weird and edgy and fucked up, but I like to think that all the boners are just really silly and get on her nerves. Release the boners. But yeah, so her playthrough will be coming to an end soon, but I think you guys will really like the new character I have cooking. The new character is going to be a muscle mommy, and we have our last muscle mommy was Rasha, and that's been a while, so we're going to have a new muscle mommy coming up. But there's something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it is. But basically, what I want to do is I kind of want to I don't want to just be like, okay, her playthrough's done, bye. I want to send her off properly, you know? So the last big quest we finished was College of Winterhold, and we have a few things we can do. So I still want to become Thane of Every Hold, but I'm not sure how high that is on the priority list, right? Because let's be so fucking for real for a second. The Thane quests are kind of boring. They're kind of not the greatest. One thing we haven't done, though, that I do want to do is I want to do all the DAEDRA quests and get all the DAEDRA weapons. Because, when it comes to DAEDRA, Vanya's our gal. Forbidden Knowledge, fucked up pacts and curses, that's her jam. She's kind of that character where it's I categorize her as, lawful evil, right? She's willing to do anything in the pursuit of knowledge, even if that knowledge is kind of sick and twisted. And I like to think that her intentions started as good, but then the power kind of got to her head a little bit. Especially once we had that one moment with the blood boil spell where, what is it? Yeah, has a 5% chance to instantly kill the target. Yeah, I feel like that one time when she made a man just evaporate, I feel like that might have done something to her brain. So what I'd like us to do is, let's see, we have the Black Star quest, so Azura's Star. We have a DAEDRA's Best Friend, which we need to finish. We need to get the axe, because I remember last time we tried to get the axe, we were kind of under-leveled. We have the Lucian quest. I don't know if we're going to do that. We have the Inigo map marker. We do need to grab that for the museum. Even though I know we're not going to finish the museum, I still want to get as much as we can and fill it as much as we can before we end the playthrough, you know? Let me see. Not Clockwork Castle. I don't really care about Clockwork Castle. Let's see. The Fallen. Yeah, that's about the truce. That's the main quest. We've been kind of avoiding the Civil War in the main quest just because some of the Thane weapons, getting the Thane weapons is a lot trickier if you have the Civil War started because people die. Let's see. The entrance. I don't think this one's a DAEDRA quest. What other DAEDRA quests do we have? And we can always check later on what weapons we have and which ones we don't. Let's see. Someone with a backbone. That's about Worm's Tooth. That's Recorder's quest. That's Dragonborn DLC. Lost Knowledge about. I don't remember that one. We'll do the Nocturnal one. That one's important. Is the Lost Knowledge one? I don't think it is. see, Craftsman's Finest, The Lady in the Lighthouse. This one looks cool because I just want to do it anyway. We're not doing a Passionate Priestess. No. We're not doing the romance quest. That's a different playthrough. That's for later. Let me see. We do have a lot of quests though. I think we still need to. I don't remember. Didn't we get something got fucked up with this quest? I don't remember like we tried to do something with this quest and it was just like not happening. It's also people die. Generally, you can find enough quests in the hold even if a few city dwellers kick it. More of the Jarls. That's what I was saying. Yeah, the Jarls change because some of the Jarls die. Some of them just get like fucking kicked out. Right. So that's gonna be part of it. One way to make becoming Thane of every whole option to give you to sleep with every Jarl. Some of the Jarls could get it. Some of the Jarls give me absolutely awful vibes. Okay, so I think that's what we'll stick with for now. We have quite a few things we can do to keep obtaining that sweet forbidden knowledge. So let's see what is the closest one. Looks like over here. Okay, so this is the Rueful Axe. So we haven't actually been over here yet, apparently. Although this might be a different part of the quest. I think we did the first part of the Barba's quest. We just didn't finish it, if I recall correctly. So let's head over here, because that seems to be the closest area, like to the road. That seems to be the easiest way to get there. And I saw on the map, there's a road. So that means my chances of getting lost are not 0, but they're better than they usually are. So let's head this way. This is the right way, right? I'm going the right direction? No, I'm not. Okay, great. We're out there. Great start. Let's head this way. And then how do we get back onto the main road? Yeah, and then we're going to take a left, right? Is it a left? A left? But welcome in, everybody. Hello. I'm trying to be fucked up and sick and twisted. Okay, here it is. But welcome in, guys. Hello. Alright, is it this way or this way? I want to be sure I'm not fucking it up. Okay, there we go. See? I'm checking. I'm not just going in one direction and banking on my natural intuition. Because we have learned that my natural intuition does not exist. Oh my god, I love the long stride spell. I was talking about this when we did the Jasper playthrough last, but literally, I will always stand the long stride spell. The fact that I can go fast and not have to have stamina, because she has the stamina of, like, a 5-year-old boy with polio. Like, Vanya is not cruising, normally. Like, Vanya's, like, I feel like she's like me. Did you guys have to do the pacer test growing up? Also, let me get this guy real quick. Oh, shit. Using blood magic right now is incredibly risky. Hold on, let me reposition real quick. Ugh. There we go. Lead him to my boners. God, this bear is Jack. Okay, let me get some of his blood real quick so I can heal myself off of him. You guys didn't have to do the pacer test? You had to do the pacer test, Shoes. Okay, yeah. Vanya would be like me, where she'd do like... she'd do like 5 or maybe like 10 of them. I don't remember like the, like how many it was or when the beeps went off, right? And then I think she'd just like throw up. Alright, here we go. Come on. Come on. Get him. There we go. Oh shit, one of my boners is down. Okay, we got a boner down. Honestly, we'll get the boner back a little bit later, just because we do have a lot of boners right now, so I'm not super concerned about it. But yeah, so if you didn't have to do the pacer test, right? Pacer test is one of those, there's a lot of fucked up shit in public education, but the pacer test is certainly up there, I say as a former teacher in America. Like, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed with the education, but like, the pacer test? Get that out of here. Basically what the pacer test is, if you do not know, the pacer test is a test where it tests basically your cardiovascular strength. Ooh, cave. We'll do that later. We're not getting distracted. But the way it does it is it has you do laps, and then you have to get to the end of you have to get from one end of the gym to the other before it goes beep. And basically, the time between the beeps gets shorter and shorter. So you have to run faster and faster. And it starts off, like, really slow. Like, it kind of, like, jukes you into thinking you can walk. And then by the end of it, by, like, 70, I think, maybe even less than that. By, like, 70, then you're like, okay, nope. Nope. Let me see. What other... Yeah, we'll do blood boil as well. Can I boil your blood? Oh, okay, we got him already. Cool. But I feel like Vanya would not do very well in the pacer test. She's kind of... She's a little... She's skinny. You know, she's real skinny. She's not, like, skinny as in fit. She's skinny as in, like, she doesn't leave the house. And she kind of eats only, like, noodles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this girl's seen protein in her life. Let me take my glasses off. No more glasses. Okay, let's see if we can find Barbas again. Hello, Mr. Barbas. I'm here. I'm here to help. Let me remove the marker. There we go. Okay, bet. Hello. It's down here, right? Yeah, listen to her. She's having a hard time. Oh. Oh. Okay. Let me see. I'm just gonna scale this cliff real quick. Whoa! Is this where I'm supposed to go? It is! That was totally planned. I was messing with you. I knew where I was going. I knew where I was going. Okay. Hello? It's kind of dark in here. Let me save real quick. I know it oh, that's right. The quick save button is the same as the bulb button. I should really fix that. Okay. Is this? Yeah, no, we definitely cleared this out. This is the place where I got stuck because it spawned like 8 vampire lords or something. Oh, no, maybe it didn't. Oh, wait, Sebastian? Who the fuck are you? Oh my god! No, I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting that. No, I'm not letting Shadows of Skyrim do its thing. No, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And, okay, we now know what's coming. Do we want to bring out, do we want to do Flesh Daddies or Flame Ladies? Flesh Daddies or Flame Ladies? Tag yourself. Are you a Flesh Daddy or a Flame Lady? You know what, maybe one of both. Why not? You get one of these. Perfect. And then we can have them kiss. Okay. And then what do I want to do? I kind of want to be careful about my blood magic spells because he did absolutely whoop me immediately. Is that his? Yeah, that's his. Oh, shit. If only there was an MB option. I mean, let me see. There should be. I think all of these could be a gender, actually. How many genders are there? Well, how many conjuration spells are there in Skyrim? I feel like, yeah, skeleton marksman, conjure gender, conjure zombie. Logan, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream, and I guess I can keep girl boss. Personally, my gender is Daedric horse. That's how I'm feeling today. All right. Oh shit. Okay, come on. All right, get in there, boners. Does she have blood I can suck? No, she does not. Oh, okay. All right, that's the wrong spell. Let me see. Okay, we do have a level up though, so we can be cheeky. Let's level up now. Actually, they're making me nervous. Well, welcome in, gamers who just came in. I'm back from the mountains. I'm doing good. I hope your mountain time was good. Pretty much. I am big chillin'. We are in a big chill time today. I got to relax. I had a very nice weekend. It was a little busy, but it was fun. Now, there's a certain, what was the mark I was looking for? There was one I was looking for where it's like the one where it's, yeah, raw power. Okay, we're 5 points away from getting raw power because blood magic is not fire, frost, or shock damage, and I would really like that 30% more powerful. I need to check what our blood magic skill tree is at, too. Conjuration, we have maxed out. We can always put more points than there is. I like how our two-handed is 1. What do we want to do? Maybe enchanting, actually? I feel like enchanting could be useful. Let's do that. So, what's this next one? Well, we don't really use equipment, or, yeah, place 2 enchantments, maybe. Might and magic. Yeah, because we're not a spell blade, right? Like, a lot of these are, like, 4 weapons. Well, actually, yeah, then why would we do this anyway? We don't use weapons. Let's, maybe... just put some more in conjuration? Like, just keep working on maxing that out, maybe? I don't think that could hurt. Let's see. Summon and reanimate undead lasts 3 times as long, or 20 times if you place Hagraven feathers into their inventory or use the Dread Zombie or Dreadthaw spells. Okay, that could be good. Pact magic. Destruction spells. Ooh. This could be good, actually. Destruction spells and effects are 10% more effective for each friendly conjured Daedra within 30 feet. Okay. Okay. I'm feeling Frost Atronach. Honestly, you're so valid. Oh, it's thundering. Oh, it's about to rain real hard. Okay. I wonder if you guys can hear. Can you guys hear the thunder? Thunder. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Sebastian Lort. Mr. Sebastian Lort. Oh, shit. Boner down. Oh, we got a boner down. Okay, okay. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. I think, okay, glasses are going back on. We need to lock in. Okay. He did kick my ass. I think the strat for this one, oh shit. Near-death experience is becoming a habit of mine. I crawl back to safety and rethink my approach. Well, yeah. Do I have to walk all the way back there? Oh my god, no. I'm reloading my save. I'm sorry, I'm reloading my save. I'm a bitch baby, I'm a pussy, okay? Let's do, I think we are genuinely just gonna have to let, like, the homies take the lead, and I'm just gonna stand there and maybe, like, heal, I guess? I don't know, it feels like a pussy move, but, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Okay, well, let's bait. Oh shit, it used my health. Ugh, where's my healing? Yeah, I don't, oh, that's right, it's because I have a blood magic spell in my other hand. Okay. Hey, come on, get in there. You guys see someone? Get in there, boners. Come on, boners. Come on, boners. Let's go. Okay. We have no more magicka, so we kind of have to use our blood spells, which is dangerous, but it can work. Okay.
Down and out.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Let's get another one out there. God, okay. Oh, that's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I'm like, but thank you so much for the follow. You're not guessing Geeky Grobos. The glasses give Librarian, while the tentacles give Eldritch. Why can't I be an Eldritch Librarian, huh? Why not? Both. Welcome in, gamers. Alright. Sebastian Lort, you have a stupid fucking name, and I want to kill you. Let's see. Can I just, like, boil bro's blood? There we go. Okay, that did something. Okay, I'm just gonna sit back. Is that healing me back? I don't think that healed me back. Oh, shit. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. I need a shield to drop. Can I, like... get rid of that shield, bro! Put that down! Fuck. Okay, oh, god damn it. He's sending out more homies. Alright, we need Flesh Daddy. Come on in, Flesh Daddy! Oh, fuck, I don't have enough. Okay, I mean, it looks like they're taking care of business. They're taking, oh shit. They're taking care of business. I found a quick way to 100 destruction. I do need more destruction points. I do need raw power. Okay, come on. My boners are fighting for me. All right, now I've got, can I please eviscerate this man? Okay, that didn't heal me, unfortunately. There's my destruction, though. Okay, oh shit, look at my fucking health. Let me just, a little bit of these, a little bit of these. There we go. Alright, let me... Can I get some of that? Can I get some? Oh, fuck. Another boner's down. God, we've lost 2 boners. Alright, can we get some of your health? Can I get some of the... Is he dead? Okay, he's dead. Alright, let me actually get his body parts. Give me your bones. Thank you. Let's see. I'll go to the library of EB's the librarian. Go to your local library. Get a library card. Go to your local library. It's important. There's your local library can be very useful, and it does a lot for the community. It's cool. There's books there and shit. Bitches love books. Okay, let's get the fate cards and the soul gems. Are there any other books we need here? Cause there's a lot of books over here. Are any of these needed for the what's it called? Ooh, money. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Is that it? Damn, bitch, you live like this? I kind of fuck with the apple pie next to the bed. Like, he's kind of real for that. You know, like, That's steam coming over it? Bro, it's fresh. Me too, bro. Me too. We killed him before he could eat his apple pie. That's kind of fucked up of us, but that's okay. All right, let's get that axe, because apparently we did not grab it. Ugh, give me that. All right, let's go back to the Shrine of Clavicus Vial and finish this once and for all. Are you saying that having fun isn't hard if you got a library card? Damn right. Okay, let's take a look. And we should be able to... I don't remember what we have to do after this quest. But we do have the thing now, so that's another thing that can go in the museum. I don't know if we've been to the museum in a hot minute. I honestly can't remember. So, let's take a look. Alright. Where is the shrine, actually? Do I remember? Does her ass remember? The place, the Chamber of the Stars, Nor? Where is the Shrine of Clavicus Vial? I don't remember. I thought it was over here. Yeah, okay, there it is. Let's just fast travel there. I don't know. I kind of want to do like a heavy, like, okay. Now that I've like done this a few times, I kind of want to go back and redo some of my old playthroughs too. You know what I mean? Like I've talked about some of the other like playthroughs I've done. Oh, are you a friend? Who are you? Oh, I need to summon someone. Holy shit. Hello? Ah! Hello, Legwolf! Legwolf, hello! Welcome to the stream, raiders! Hello, 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 hi! Hello, thank you for the raid, Lagwolf. What did you play? If a mod could shout out Lagwolf, I'd appreciate it. If you are new in town, hi, my name is EB. My last name is Games, and I do just that. I games, and I mostly play Skyrim. I really like rimming the sky. So if you like rimming the sky, then you're in the right place. Right now, we are currently trying to complete a bunch of DAEDRA quests because we're edgy and just sick and twisted. But we found a Dremora mistress, so that's cool. That's fun. Detroit Become Human. Ooh, I've never played that game. I feel like... Wait, what? Who's she fighting?
There you are, weakling.
Who's she fighting? Who are you people? Oh, it's the Vigilance of Stendar. Leave my girl alone. Leave my girl alone. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. No. You cannot just hit a pretty lady. I don't care if she's an affront against the gods. You can't hit a woman. That's fucked up. Give me your blood.
There could be no
There we go.
end.
Yeah. Okay. Last witness killed. That's what I like to see. Do you have a good local bookstore? I wish I did, but unfortunately I don't. But I have like a really cute like antique shop near where I live though, and that one's always fun to go in. It's like a little old like couple that runs it, and they always have some really cool stuff. I bought a trombone from there once for $40. I kind of know how to play the trombone. I used to be an elementary school band teacher, so I had to learn how to play like every instrument that you could like pick for band to like a 6th grade level. So it's like I can play trombone like as good as a middle schooler can. Trombone gaming. Hi, Swiss. No, listen. Swiss was there with me actually when I bought the trombone because we were both like looking at it and it was like, it's $40. You know, I meant to buy a case for it at some point, but I never did. So I just have a trombone sitting in my closet, but it was fun. You can always find, I love going to antique shops. You can always find like some really cool shit there, you know. Antique shops, thrifting. Oh my fucking god. She's just sliding down. What the fuck was that? That wasn't there before. Who picked me up? Lucian, baby girl, thank you. I don't see where Lucian is, but thank you, baby girl. I appreciate that.
Caves. Love them.
Yes, we love caves. The trombone was terrifying to look at, but it worked. Yeah, it wasn't in great shape. It wasn't like the the highest caliber of trombones, but it worked. The tone quality is questionable, but it works. I think I played it once on stream way back when. I think I have a clip of it, actually. Let me see. Yeah, it's on my channel trailer, I think. So if you ever watch my channel trailer, you can see me playing the trombone. Lucian's a sweetie pie, though. I'm gonna bring him with me every playthrough. Like, him and Inigo are, like, non-negotiables. I do kind of want to install Kaiden. I've heard really good things about him. There's a few new follower mods I want to install at some point, too. I just need to, like... I don't know. I'm really nervous about like testing stuff with my new mod list right now because I don't want to like, I figured out how profiles work in Nexus, but it still is scary. You know what I mean? It's still, oh, hey girl. Wee. Okay, there we go. It still is like scary to like switch between mod lists because it's like, it shouldn't be a problem, but you should be a follower. At one point, I was gonna get a follower made of me. I still want to do it at some point, but I know Brick's just been super busy, so I don't want to like. He offered to make me a follower, and I told him I was like, hell yeah, but let's wait till my Skyrim model comes out. And then I got super busy, and then he got super busy, and I felt bad, so I just haven't brought it up again. Hi Blacksmith, welcome in gaming, welcome in everybody. Then let's see. This way. Yeah. Okay. I always forget there's like 2 parts to this cave. Mr. Clavicus Vial or Miss Clavicus Vial, because I think it's a, well, I just remember, I think this is one of the statues where it has really big tits. I think that's, yeah. This one's got big tits. Okay, let's see. This way? My new gaming chair arrived. Listen, I kind of want a new gaming chair. My chair got really fucked up, and so now I'm using like one of my parents' old chairs. Barbus! So what's the story behind this axe?
One of Clavicus's little chests.
I fucking love his
a
voice,
wizard
dude.
named Sebastian Lord had a daughter who worshipped her scene. When the daughter became a werewolf, it drove Sebastian over the edge. He couldn't stand to see
Shit,
his little
someone's
girl take on such
enveloping
a
me.
bestial
Stop that.
form. The wizard wished for the ability to end his daughter's curse. Clavicus gave him an
Hi,
axe.
Mr. Boner. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. All right, you can come follow me
Lead the
again.
way.
Yippee! Okay. Yeah, I can. Wait, can I keep the axe? What happens if I say I want to keep the axe?
The axe isn't the only item dear old Clavicus has. Give him the rueful axe, and once we're reunited, the mask of Clavicus Vial will be yours.
Okay. All right. I'll trust you. That's right. Boobies. Okay. Bet. All right. Hi.
You've got the axe. And my dog.
She's so loud.
Splendid.
She's so loud. And she's so beautiful, but she's so loud. You have to kill Barbasic if you want the axe. That's so sick and twisted. Like, I mean, I'm sure we can do a replica of it for the museum, but like, I'm not killing a dog. Like, I may have sacrificed a child, but I'm not killing a dog. Like, I'm not evil, you know?
Excellent work.
She's
A
so
human
loud.
and his faithful companion retrieving the ancient artifact for the prince. Oh, it's almost
Bro, look at her
storable.
toes.
Ah, but it almost seems a shame
Sorry,
to
I
give a
won't say
weapon
that.
like that away, doesn't it? I suppose I could be persuaded to let you keep it,
Please?
but only if you use the axe to kill Barbas. Simple as that.
Well, I don't want to do that. Did you install a mod to make all the DAEDRA women? I think it came with the mod pack, and I'm probably going to turn it off for my next playthrough because I do want to be a little more serious, but like... boobies. Let me see. No, I'm not... Okay. Here's the thing. Me, I would not kill Barbas. Vanya, on the other... Listen. We just had to talk about how she's lawful evil. I think she would kill the dog. I think she would. Like, would she? Well, she did sacrifice a child. I don't know. Well, okay. I'm thinking. See, that's the thing, is even if there's more cons to killing the dog, because one, it's fucked up, and two, then I know y'all are gonna get my ass, which honestly deserved, you know, depends on what kind of power she values more. Yeah, that's true. The thing with Vanya, she does have a moral compass, but all of her moral compass is her boyfriend that's just like, hey, Let's not do that today. Because her boyfriends are druid. One of our other characters that we played, Severin. No. No.
You're no fun at all.
Sorry,
Guess I'll
I
have
don't
make
want to
my
kill
own
a fucking
fun
dog.
elsewhere. And with the pup back, I'll be restored to my full power.
Okay.
Oh, there's a whole world just waiting for me.
Okay.
I knew I
This is a
could
horrible
trust
place to
you.
spend any length of
Where'd you go,
time.
Barbie?
Yeah, dog gets master. Master
Why are
gets
the
cosmic hacks.
So loud.
Everyone's happy. Just
Oh, shit,
get
this
over
thunder
here,
really loud.
mutt.
Don't worry, I'll make sure he sees.
I'm trying to like go away because she's so loud.
Now you trust me.
Oh, bye, Barbas. Don't kill the fucking dog. Honestly,
That feels
yeah.
so much.
Aw, wait, that's kind of
You
cute.
forget how nice supreme power
They were
feels
loud in the
until
base game,
you've
too.
been stuck
There's
in
gotta
a
be something
cave
to
for
fix
a few
that.
years. Now, as for your wish, power, was it?
Yeah.
You can be part of a tremendous power. All you have to do is let your soul be absorbed by this axe. Oh, I never said it would be your power.
Hey, well, that's not.
Oh, fine. Have my boon and be done with it.
There we go. Now we're
I've got
talking.
more interesting deals to make anyway.
Don't push me.
Caves.
Alright, well, we have the Mask of Clavicus Vial, so we didn't kill a dog, and we got a DAEDRA's boon. So, you know, everybody wins. It's a win-win for everybody. No one loses here. Only winners here. So that's another one we can add to our museum. How are we doing on carry weight? 473 out of 660. You can't see it because my tentacles are in the way. But we're at 473 out of 660 in terms of our carry weight. So it's like not great, but I don't think we need to beeline it back to the museum either. We did get to look at Daedric Titty. You just want to look at the whole statue. And you don't? Like, let's be real. I think everyone deserves to look at a little bit of a booby statue from time to time. You know, it's just, it's what everyone deserves. Viola's the character you're playing now. There's a separate character who is their molar compass. Yeah, I feel like, no, and that's the thing where it's like, with writing my book with her, that's my struggle that I'm having long term, is I'm like, I want her to still, like, she's a really bad person, but I want her to still be likable. You know what I mean? Because she's like the main character. So if she's just a cunt all the time, then no one's gonna want to read about her. They're gonna be like, damn, bitch, why are you like this? So that's my struggle I'm having right now writing her, is I'm trying to like find that line, and it's like, it's kind of hard, not gonna lie. But we're also like, it's weird. I'm literally halfway done chapter 5 of my book. I know what I want to do with it. It's literally almost done. I just need to get off my ass and finish it. And like, I am kind of like definitely motivated to do more creative shit ever since now that like the lore video is finished and the debut is finished. But it's also like, I think I just need to like commit to it, you know? I thought about writing on stream, but like, I've edited on stream before. Editing on stream is fine. Like when we did the editing stream together, that was actually really, really fun. Sugar King, thank you so much for the follow. You're not gaslight gatekeep. Girl boss. We're talking about editing for my novel. Hi Karma Jackie. Likeable assholes are tricky. If she's a horrible boyfriend, it makes her hippie druid boyfriend look like a mom. See, that's the thing too. Is it's like I feel like there's only so much you can justify with, but she's hot. You know what I mean? Like, on my recommended. Oh, thank you, Sugar. I appreciate you. Where the fuck do I go? How do I get out of here? I don't remember. All right, now my boners are getting in the way. But yeah, I need to like, I think editing on stream is fine. I did enjoy editing with you guys, but I feel like if I were trying to actually write on stream, I would get nothing done because I am a yapper. I would just start info dumping and nothing would get done. Like world building, we can do on stream, right? Editing, we can do on stream. Writing, I don't know about that one. But that's the thing though, is it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like at first Severin's like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And then after a while, he's like, oh, No. You like that's just the thing. It's like, how much is bro willing to tolerate? How many war crimes is he willing to let her get away with because she's hot? You know what I mean? How much moral ambiguity are we going for? You know? But yeah, I gotta get back to editing my video. Yeah, I'm trying to edit down some of the stuff from Streamathon into full videos. I've gotten a lot better at like video editing, and I want to do more long form content. It's just kind of time consuming, so I have to. It's gonna take me some time, but I think it'll be fun. He's really like, I can fix her. He is. He literally is. Like, they're kind of meant to be like foils to each other, if that makes sense. Like, I have the one character who's like lawful evil, and then I have the one character who's lawful good, and then they kiss. You know, like they're meant to kind of like. One is meant to help the other not be such a pushover, and the other is meant to keep the other from doing war crimes. It's not a war crime if it's the first time it's done. You know what? That's a good point, actually. Alright, let's start finding Azura's star. But yes, if you ever are like, I kind of want to ask this question about Eevee's OCs, do it. I will literally yap about my OCs all fucking day long. I love them. Okay, I feel like I shouldn't talk about this because it's not like set in stone, but like I really want to do it. I really want to fucking do it. Good news, my original song is gonna be on Spotify, probably within the week. It's been submitted, I just need to, like, wait for, like, it to process or something like that. This is my first time ever releasing something on streaming services, so it should be on, like, Apple Music, Spotify, all that jazz, right? And honestly, like, I'm really proud of my original song. I was really nervous about it at first, and it was, like, one of those things where I kind of cringed at myself listening back to it at first, but now I'm like, I'm really proud of it, and I want to do more original music. Can I put your song on repeat? Please do. It's on YouTube right now. If you type !song, it'll give you the link to the YouTube video, right? But it's not on streaming platforms yet, but I'll update that. I'll update that soon, right? So, but what I'm literally thinking about doing, because I'm so, we better be sitting down. Yes. I'm thinking about doing, and I was talking to, Skeppy, the guy that wrote my original song, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do an EP where it's like one song for each of like my Skyrim characters and like bundle them together and have it be like a like fantasy rock like genre blend. And he was like, okay, that fucks, we could do that. So it would definitely be like a while, you know what I mean? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, hold on. Oh shit, okay, are we good?
Damn you.
Are we good? Why are we standing there? Guys, get in there. Bro, get in there. Give me your blood. There we go. Thank you. Oh shit, there's more of them. I can't see. Hold on. I need to suck. I am low on HP. Give me your blood. Oh fuck. Oh, that's the wrong one. Drain health. This one?
Ow!
There we go. Give me your blood. I need to drink up. I need the soup. Thank you. Okay. It's fucking dark in here, bro. What? Oh my god, there's more? Wait, why are you guys fighting?
Enemy defeated. Go us.
Stop fighting. No. Do not hit the boner. He's just a boy. I thought better of you, Lucian. Look what you did to my boy. EBEP. It would be. Bro, you can't hurt my... Are you okay, little man? You okay? Mwah. Kiss you on the forehead. You're all better. Okay, bet. That was fucked up of him. I hate that for him. For Lucian. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I will need to summon more boners soon. I'm just kind of... Well, I'll probably just do it when I get out of this one, because I think it should be nighttime by then. Yeah, it should be nighttime soon. Let me just do this because they're level 1. Yeah. Wait, what? Why does that do no fucking damage? Oh, it's probably because I haven't summoned anything recently. I forgot I have the thing where if I don't summon stuff, it brings all my stats down. I get the pull to oblivion, you know? Okay, there we go. Let me get my other flashlight out because I still can't see shit. Perfect. Okay. Nothing good in here. Let's see. Door over here. Anything over here? Don't look like it. Don't look like it. Okay. Let's head through here. Only way to go is forward. Hello? You come here often? Oh, wait, there's a guy over there. Hold on. Let me... Can I sneak? Get the sneak suck? The sneak suck? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Come on. I'll never see it coming. Ah! Okay, we still got the damage in. But we did not get the sneak suck. What? Give me your blood! Oh, shit. Okay, Your blood! Your blood! Let me... Come on. Yay! I might have actually got some Illusion's blood too in the process, but that's okay. Sippy straw. Oh, wait, what the fuck? I took his... Oh, I thought I took his... Oh, I thought I took something else, but I took his robes. Wait, bro is jacked. Bro's kind of jacked. The fuck? Okay. I mean, like... I don't know. I just didn't expect him to be jacked like that. I thought he was going to be kind of a twink. I feel like most necromancers are kind of twink-coded. You know what I mean? I thought... I don't know. Alright. Anyway. Boop. Okay. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Oh! Hey! Oh, shit. Okay. We need the boys. The boys are back in town. Okay, come on. Or the boys, I mean the ladies. All of the women. Give me all my women. There we go. Okay, that should be enough. Where's his HP at? Oh my god. Yeah, because my blood magic's not gonna work on him. Because, this might be a crazy concept. This might shock you. Ow. But, skeletons don't have blood. So, I can't use my blood magic on them. Makes it a lot harder. Alright, y'all handle that guy. Oh, shit! Okay, hold on. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Oh my god, okay. What? Oh, fuck, they're blocking it. Okay,
That was exhilarating.
there we go. Is this done? Oh, shit! Fuck, I'm glad I saved. I'm really glad I saved. God damn it. I hate the fucking, oh, what is it? The whooshy frost spell where they send the whole, like, what's it called? There's a word I'm looking for. They send the whole blizzard on you. They leave it in jars at home. We have blood at home. If you don't have homemade blood, store-bought is fine. Okay, let's try this again. All right, there's a dude in here. Do not hit me, okay? And let's send out the boys. We're gonna send out the boys. And then, here's what we're gonna do. They're over here, right? Holy shit, what the fuck is an arch necromancer? Hold on. Whoa. Okay, get that guy. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay. That's one of my ladies, I think. Oh, jeez. Okay. Blizzard. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I don't even know where they are. Oh, okay. Okay. Where is... Yeah, there's the apprentice necromancer. We're getting him out the way. What other blood spells do I have? Blood boil, blood drink. Blood is power. I don't want to do that. That's like my rune. Blood solid. Targets that fail to resist are paralyzed for 3 seconds. Blood tide. Deal 94 points of blood damage in an area in front of you. Costs 100 points of health. How many points of health do I have in general? Oh, I leveled up already. That's like half my health, but if it's good, then it's good. You know what I mean? My destruction's still not where I want it to be, so we're just gonna keep putting points in conjuration, I think. Absorbs the life force to heal itself, preventing you from regenerating health. Wait, no, shit. I feel like preventing me from regenerating health, I'm looking at signed in blood, could be a bit problematic. Regenerating health, but regenerating 10 points per second, increased by 4% of its maximum health when out of combat. Destruction spells and effects are 10% more effective for each... Oh, yes, actually, that one, yes. Yes. Destruction spells and effects are 10% more effective for each friendly conjured DAEDRA. Yeah. Yeah, I want that one. Yeah, give me that one. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, now let's... Oh, boy. Okay, where is it? Blood... Yeah, I want to try this one. I don't think I've done this one before. It's gonna... Oh, shit. It'll be easier. Shit. Okay. Okay, that did something. That did something. Oh shit, I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. Oh, that's one of my boners. I thought it wasn't. I was concerned. Okay. Hello? How we doing? Where is he? Or she? I'm sorry. Where are you? That. Oh, that's Lucian. Oh no. Oh, there she is. Okay, hold on.
Kill you.
There we go. Okay. Alright, juke. There we go. A few more. Oh, fuck, I killed my skeleton. I'm sorry, baby boy. Mommy didn't mean it. Mommy didn't mean it. It was an accident. Ugh, God. Give me your blood. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm slow. I'm slow. I'm slow. I'm slow. I'm slow. Okay. Come on. Fuck. Okay, let's just do one of these real quick. There we go. She's almost dead. And you know what we'll end it off with? Okay. I was really hoping she'd explode. It would have been very climactic if she exploded, but she didn't. That's okay. Oh, we do have an Eldritch page. Wait, we need to read this for our pact with Hermes Mora. Let me see. Where's my... Let's see. Which one? There we go. Characters seem to dance in front of your eyes. We need to pray, by the way. We haven't prayed in a hot minute. I forgot about that. Okay. All right, let's save. Yes, I am opening the menu to save because I forgot my quick save button and my bald button are the same button. Oh, Jesus Christ, we fucked it up in here. Any good books? Any books for the museum? Oh, shit, hell yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Hello? That one's not for the museum. I should probably heal myself, but I'm regenerating. It should be fine. We're close. Let me save again. I feel like something's gonna happen soon. I feel like there's gonna be some not so friendly people coming soon. I feel like that bridge is supposed to go down. I mean, I can just waltz my happy ass over there. That's just what I'll do. How do you pray to Hermie? It's supposed to be hugging a fluting is his name. I mean, it's in the mod list, I just have to press the pray button. And then I pray. Oh shit. Hello, Ebony Helmet. Nice to see you. Okay. Are you an Ebony Helmet or are you just happy to see me? Alright. What's behind door number 1? Okay. Hi. Oh boy, I love walking through the... I love walking through the mist. It's so fun and not ominous at all. Okay, easy money. Easy peasy. Alright. Looks like it's just potions in here. And some wheat, I guess. Let's see. Do we just go to the next room at this point? Door bar. Wooden door. What's behind this one? Hello? Oh boy. Anyone else down here? Oh no, this is above where we were before. Here we go. Alright. I need Azura Star. After this one though, I think we might go, well, we have, I think, one more quest to do. But, we might go back to the museum and see which DAEDRA quest we still need to do. Because I know we did Meridia a while back. Shh. Can we get a sneak suck? Sneak suck? Sneak suck?
Be harvested.
We can't take another villager from the surface so soon. I told you to prepare.
Goodbye. I gave her the suck real good. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I exploded that man. Goodbye. I didn't realize I had blood boil on. I thought I had something else on. Holy shit. You see what happens? I explode them. It's awesome. Okay, that's cool as shit. I love when that happens. It's so fun. I love exploding people out of thin air. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Wait, what's behind this door? I know that's not where we need to go, but I want to know where it leads. It's just... Oh, yeah, okay. So just goodies. I do know where I'm going. Be quiet. I love you, Lucian, but you have to have some faith in the leader of the pack. And by the leader of the pack, I mean me. Okay. Should be close. Wait, Flesh Colossus. Wait, what? No, I'm the only one that can have flesh colossus. Oh my god. Okay. There's a big boy over there. There's a big Oh my, wait, what the fuck? What was that? I wasn't in his... None of my followers are gonna pick me up, are they? God damn it. Ooh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Do it again. We'll do it again. I mean, okay. Can I make him explode again? Because low-key, that would be really cool if I did it again.
We can't take another villager from the surface so soon. I told you to prepare everything.
That death animation didn't work the way I planned it. Oh, wait, fuck. No. Why did not cast? Guys, go in. Do something. Guys, come on. Why are we not hustling? Oh my god, why are you guys so useless? Oh, that didn't heal me either. It hit the wall. Okay. Come on. Potion. Can I have a potion, please? Potion seller. Okay. Stop freezing me. Oh my god. No, are you fucking... Ah! Okay, that didn't... I looked really cool the first time. And now I just look a little silly. More silly than I do normally, arguably, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, come on. Hello? Here. We're gonna... No more sneak sucking. Okay, clearly there's a lesson I'm supposed to learn here, and I'm just not doing it. Alright. Hi. Get out of my life. Get out of here. Wait, can I give him the suck through the shield? I can! Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. Cool. Right. What was the loot over here? There was some good loot over here, if I recall correctly. Because I know one of them we got the helmet, but I think one of them had some, like the guy had some good stuff. Yeah, he had a book I didn't have yet. That's right. Okay. Let me do that. Wait, why can't I save? Let me save. That's right, because Mr. Big Boy McFuck is over there. Okay, my Flesh Colossus is better than your Flesh Colossus. How about that? Let's do that. Just, oh god, it's manlet time. Oh shit. Okay, can I do this in combat? We're gonna find out. Hopefully the boners have that handled while I just, oh god, look at her. She looks afraid. I think it did pause everything, so at least there's that. There we go. Perfect. I'm 6 feet tall, hell yeah. Alright guys, you got this. Oh, what the oh no! What the fuck was that? Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? The Flesh Colossuses can't. They're not supposed to be able to do that. No! No. Why is there fire? Hold on. I'm 6 feet tall. God damn. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, let me get to a safe space to do this, actually. Here. Show race menu. Because I don't know where the fuck that shit's coming from. Come on, where is it? Body scales? Yeah. Perfect. Then let's save. I don't have to do that again. Okay. Alright, we got this. Alright, come on. That's the wrong fucking way. Okay. Are we handling that Flesh Colossus?
Yes,
what is that? What is that? Hello, Secret Kiki Chan. Welcome to the stream. You're dying. Thank you for the follow. You're a guest, so you can keep robots. I'm about to fucking die. What is that? What is that? Why am I combusting? Why am I busting? Do you see that? Where's that shit coming from? Okay, hold on. I feel like it's a. Are y'all seeing something I'm not? Because I load in and then just fire. Like, am I triggering something? What is happening? Listen. It's a. Oh no. Welcome to. Oh god damn it. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. If a mod could give a shout out to last name unavailable, I would appreciate it. Welcome in, raiders. We're currently in manlet mode. So I'm very, very small. Oh, look at my stupid little hands. And I keep, yeah, what is that? What is that? They keep sending the fucking nukes onto me. Vigorously heal me. Why am I not vigorously healing? Why am I not healing vigorously? Secret Agent Chad, thank you so much for the follow. You know, guess I can keep grow boss. But how was your stream? While we're in this pause menu, let's all take a breath. Let's all take a breath. Ready? In for 5, out for 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And exhale. I'm fine. I'm good. Welcome in, raiders, to a very normal Skyrim stream. Probably just a normal fireball that looks big. I don't know where it's coming from. Got some Daedric artifacts in a house. Hell yeah, we are also on a Daedric artifact hunt. But it's not going very well. Why am I not healing vigorously? Do you see this? You can't see it because my big old head's in the way. But I'm using potion of vigorous healing, and I'm not healing vigorously. Why am I not healing vigorously? Heal me vigorously. Okay, can I, like, here. Let's do, where's fast healing? I don't have a blood magic spell in my hand, do I? Good, okay. Heal me. Heal me. Please help me. Please. Please. I've been made small. I've been baby-fied. Look how little she is. Did we get him? Did we get the Flesh Colossus gang? Did we do it? How do you unsmall yourself? Well, I do have a redeem that is manlet mode, and we are currently in manlet. That's the thing. What are you guys doing? Did you guys kill it? What is going on? What is going on? Oh my god. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm proud of you all. Congratulations. Thank you, boners. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Flesh Daddies. I appreciate you. But I just want to get Azure Star. Please. Okay, there's a guy over there. All right, we can do this. It's just a dude, okay? It's just a guy. Oh my god. Okay, come on. Oh, okay, I'm too far for my blood magic. Let's, bring the homies in. How do you feel about hot women? And by hot women, I mean literally very hot women. Okay, here we go. Come on. And then, can I... Oh, wait, no, that's a skeleton. Ooh, I think it's a guy over there. The guy I should be able to use my magic on. My blood magic on. Oh, fuck. Stop with the blizzards. Stop with the blizzards. Do we need that many blizzards? I know global warming is not good, but, like, come on. Come on. I'll be lurking. Good luck, Tiny Domican. Oh, thank you for the raid and thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you. Oh no, he's gonna kill all my... They're gonna kill all my fucking boners. Holy shit. Okay, come on. More women. More women. I don't know how to handle my problem, so no more women. Surprised you didn't call that redeem shrinkage. Maybe I should. I think the first time we did it, we called it manlet mode, though. So maybe manlet mode will stay. Maybe we'll change it. I don't know. But... Okay, get that guy. Now get that guy. Come on. My army. Oh god. Okay, here we go. You know, no, I'm too small for blood boil. We need blood. We need drain health. Okay, let me get in there. Give me your health. What the fuck? Did I just kill my son? Did I just kill my son? No, I almost killed... Oh, no, my son! No, my boner son! Give me your health! Give it to me! Give me your... Don't do the weird ice thing! I don't like it! Oh, okay. I'm gonna boil your blood. Please spontaneously combust. Please. Welcome in. I need this man's organs evaporated. Stat. Get his organs. No healing. That's illegal. You can't do that. Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. That was exhilarating, but not in a good way. Give me your bones. You don't deserve to have them anymore. They're mine now. My bones. I did not like that. That was... For what? For what? You know? We did not need all that. We did not need all that. Can I please? Oh my god, there's a man. There's a man over there. Okay. Do we do the sneak suck? Do we go for the sneak suck? Master Necromancer. I'm saving again. I'm scared. I'm afraid, okay? I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm afraid. Alright, we're gonna go for the sneak suck.
Another soul.
The sneak suck did nothing! Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, I'm letting let him come to me. Let him come to me. You guys go ahead. I'm gonna be a little baby and heal myself. Oh, wait, they're going in. You see that? Oh, goddamn. My new chair is fully set up. Yay! Wish the lumbar support was a bit more cushioned. I feel that. You can't have it all, but that's okay. I keep crouching because I'm so small. I think I'm like, I think I'm already crouching. Okay. Drain health. Give me your blood. Wait, where is he? Oh, God. Where is he coming from? Oh, I'm so little. I am small, but I am mighty. Oh, shit.
I am master of the arcane.
Oh my god. Okay. I need to... Alright, panic. Alright, I am doing damage. I am healing off the skeleton warriors, at least. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Okay. Okay, heal me vigorously. Thank you. Thank you. I love being healed vigorously. It's so sexy when you heal... Oh my god! What the fuck? What the... Okay. No. How am I doing? That's a great question. Not good. The sneak suck was not a good plan. What do you mean I'm carrying too much to run? No, fuck you. Okay, here we go. But welcome in, everyone who has come in, whether you came in from a raid or you just came in. Welcome to the stream. I am small and I don't like it. And I just, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, game plan. We're gonna, not healing hands. We're gonna heal myself before we start the fight and we're not gonna get cocky, okay? What level am I? 33. I'm 7 levels down on him. All right, heal myself first. And he heard me healing himself. Fantastic. And then we're gonna spawn some women. He loves women, probably, maybe, I don't know. Oh my god, okay. Alright, that's my friend. That's my son. Alright, I'm just gonna... You guys go first. Oh my god, okay. There's so much damage. Can I heal myself again? Can I just... I'm on the sidelines. You guys, okay, here we go. Oh my god, okay, okay, let's do some flesh colossuses. That should help. Okay. There we go. Alright. I need to get in to use my blood magic, but I'm just... There's so much... Oh my... How is he shooting me through the... Did you see that? He's shooting me through the wall. I took damage off that. That doesn't feel fair. Not to be a hater, but... Oh my god. Oh, and the ice does damage. Okay, I can't even see how much damage he's taken. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's coming out here. Okay, more of that. More women. More women. Okay. Come on. Come on, ladies. You can do this. Okay, that is dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, being in manlet mode does make this more difficult. Okay. I don't have enough magic to heal myself. Come on. There we go. Are you guys gonna do something? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. They're holding that thing in. Okay, come on. Stop hitting me through the wall! That's not fair! Okay. Here, I need to boil his blood. Can I... If you step on this... Yeah, if you step on that, it does damage, and it's everywhere. Okay. I feel like I have no choice but to... Yeah, there's one little patch where it's not frostbitten. Here. Right, there we go. But this is a really great spot for him to just... Okay, you know what? I know how to get past this. Okay, there we go. Alright, where's he at? Okay, there's a skeleton. Shit, God, he's got the bazooka spells. You see that? Do, 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 do. Oh my God. Okay, he's... Okay, I healed myself at least, but he is... Look at that! That's an assault rifle of magic. Jesus. Okay, we need someone to get in his butt. Here, come here. I need you to get... They're gonna... The flesh colossuses aren't afraid to get in there, okay? They'll get in there. There we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, I still gotta be careful about where I step, but I think that'll help. Oh, they're going in. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, a little bit. We're pushing him back at least. Okay. Alright, there's the bazooka. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, here he is. Okay, alright. Where'd that bandit come from? Shit. Okay, I can use the stairs to... Okay. At least block the other stuff. Is he taking any damage? Any at all? Shit. Okay. Okay, he's almost dead. Oh, he's healing. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Blood Boil's too risky right now. Let's do Blood Drain. Blood Boil is like a good spell, but it uses way too much of my health. I will literally kill myself. Okay. Not you. Okay, I need to get in there. Come on. Okay. I can't lock in on him. Oh shit. No! We were so close! We were so close! No! We were so close! Okay, we can do it. I believe in us. I believe. Okay. Okay. Here, walk away. Walk away. Walk away to heal myself so I don't trigger the fight. He can hear my spells, which I didn't even think of. There we go. Alright. Let's start out with the daddies. Okay? Because then they can just like... Because that's the thing, is he's probably pretty squishy, but because I'm a ranged character, it's harder to get to him. You know what I mean? Alright. Hello? Are you into BDSM? Would you like to be? Okay, alright. Get in there, buddies. Get in there. Wait, what? Oh my God, wait. He's annihilating them. Holy shit. Okay. Alright. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. We gotta be doing something, right? He's still getting the stairs going. Okay. No, don't hit our skeletons. No! Flesh Daddy, that's my skeleton, not his. No! Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright, we got two. Come on. Upstairs. 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 You got this. Alright, after this fight, I will unsmall myself. Alright, come on. We got this. He may have magic, but he doesn't have, and he may have wards, but he doesn't have protection against your fists up his ass. Okay, did we get him? Did we get him? I'm saving. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Did you get him? Please, 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 please. I'm afraid of him. I'm so afraid of that man. Okay, I am... No more small. No more small. That was stressful. God, look at her. That fight aged her. Look what you did to my girl. Okay. 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 Okay, maybe not that tall. Come on. There we go. Okay. You're normal again. You're normal. You're so normal. Okay. That was a lot. That was a lot going on there. That's, yeah, Staff of Ice Shards. That's crazy. Okay, Broken Azura Star. Ooh. No, I want to stay with Hermaeus more. I don't want to follow him. We do need to pray. But we do have a new book, so we have quite a few things for the museum. Who do I want to bring the star to is the question. Oh shit, we can use this. Hold on. Build material. That's always useful. Okay. We will need to find a cache to put our stuff for the museum. We will need to just fast travel, period, I think. Because the build material is stuff we need for other quests. but it's heavy as hell. Where's our... Yeah, we're at 753. Who do we want to bring it to, though? Like, actually. Because we have a few choices. Where is that quest? Where'd it go? Median Lighthouse. Akatosh. No. Black Star. Arania or Nelikar? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure which will be better. Let's see. I do need to figure out my... Is there anything unnecessary I'm carrying? Because I don't want to drop all the build material. Her cape is like enveloping her. Like, if it's not a display, we don't need it. Need that, need that. But that weighs 2 pounds. It's fine. I do want to disenchant that, because that's a good enchantment. Is that a Hermes more inspired outfit on your model? Yes, it is! Thank you for noticing. I blink. Look, all my eyes blink with me. Bum, bum, bum. But he is my favorite daydream prince, but thank you for noticing. That does remind me, I need to pray. Hold on. Let me bless up real quick. Where's my pray button? Pray button. There we go. Bless up. Bless up. That's insanely cool. Thank you. I have tentacles. I like how, like, even when I'm not moving, like, hold on. Even when I'm not moving, my tentacles are, like, squiggly. But I'm glad you like it. Thank you. All right, let me see. She got a new model. Yeah, I actually did get a new model recently. I did a debut last Wednesday. If you missed the debut, if you type !YouTube, it'll give you a link to my YouTube. But also, if you only want to watch the lore video and my new original song, I upload those separately as well. But the whole debut of the new model is on YouTube, and I have an original song now. It's gonna be on streaming services soon, and I released my lore video, which I was very, very excited about. So if you'd like to go watch it, that is on the tube of you. All right, let's see. Ebony helmet we need. Oh, I want the gold stuff because I want to make money. I like money. We need that. We need that. We don't need these. These we don't need. That can go. Okay, 1 pound. Great start. Just 100 more to go. I don't know why we have the steel shin boots. That can go. I don't know why I have someone's underwear. That can go. What about weapons? Let's see. Ancient Nord sword can go. That I picked up on accident. That is important. That is important. That looks really cool, but it's not a display, so I'm getting rid of it. We need that. Let's see. I kind of want to keep a pickaxe on hand, honestly. Staff of Ice Shards. That was the fucking bazooka staff. I want to keep that. Staff of Magnus. We can drop the Staff of Soul Trapping if we need to, but I want to see if we can... Yeah, okay, that can go. Okay, we just need like 30 pounds more. That one can also go. What's in my miscellaneous? Let's see. Can we drop... We can probably drop some bones. Let's see. If we have over 10 of a bone, I usually drop some of it. I don't really need the malachite or low-key. I feel like I could get rid of that. We don't need 11 right arms. Actually, hold on. Let me, I love how it all drops to the ground. It is not nighttime. It is 7:53 a.m. So I can't summon a bone altar. So do I want to just wait, low-key? Like, we could just wait. Here, let me just wait until... Wait, what? There we go. Let's just wait until it gets to nighttime, so then I can summon a bone altar, so we're not just dropping the bones we don't need. We can make new skeletons. We can make new boners. So let's just sit back, enjoy the nature, and then when it's dark outside, then it'll be boner time, okay? Boner time starts at, oh, fuck, okay. Boner time starts at 7 o'clock, apparently. All right, where's my boner move? Conjure altar. Here we go. All right. And... Whoa. Wait, hold on. And now it's big head mode. Hold on. We're making her ugly. What are you doing to my girl? No. Thank you for the redeem. All right, let's try this again. And... Perfect. Okay. Let's see if we can summon some more skeletons. We'll summon more skeleton warriors. Why have you started going into Carl Weezer? Do I sound like Carl Weezer? No! No! Okay, we need more frontliners. We need more people to get... Oh my god, did you see the staff just fly off there? Okay. We have a new skeleton warrior. Hello, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Boner family. Lovely. When you're writing about what we're doing to your girl. No, I don't want to sound like Carl Weezer. Okay, and then let's do just as many skeletons as we can just to get rid of the bones. Because I think that'll be good. We can have up to like 8 skeletons at a time or something like crazy like that, I think. Yeah, okay. We now have a lot of warriors though, so we'll do the next one. Next one will be a mage, I think. Let's do a fire mage. I think that'll be good. Let me sip some water. And then here, another mage. Let's do poison. Poison's always fun. I don't know why she's like weeping in pain. I mean, I guess she is giving birth to a whole skeleton. So I guess, yeah, that does have to be painful, I suppose. All right, any more? Okay, let's make another one. We'll do frost. Yeah, push, honey, push. She is raw dogging this. No epidural. Okay. And then... Alright, maximum number of skeletons reached. Okay, now we can fast travel again. So, before we lose any more skelly boys, let's go back to the museum and dump off, and get rid of some stuff. I think that would be good. Then we'll kind of see where we're at. And we'll see where... I kind of want to see what DAEDRA quests we still have left in the museum, too. Because we've gotten a lot of them. Let me see. Hello, museum, my love. Museum, my love. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember how long it's been since we've been to the museum, deadass. I really don't. I'm trying to stay hydrated. All right. 300 gold. Okay, so it can't have been that long. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Sort time. Let's see how many new displays we get. Hi, Floover! How have you been? I've been good. How are you? I have my new model. We're playing some Legacy of the Dragonborn. Our lovely character, Vanya, whose head is really big right now. For reasons. And we are trying to get all the Daedric artifacts. So I'm wondering... Oh, Kermis, thank you so much for the follow. I'm so glad you've been enjoying the stream. You're now Geeki Girl Boss. Thank you, gamer. Let me see... I just want to look at what replicas we might need. This we can make. We do need a Staff of Magnus replica because it won't let us. I guess it wouldn't let us do the Staff of Magnus. And we need this one. So we'll do these two. Apparently we need to put them in the museum. So we might as well. Any other things that can go in the museum? Cool. I'm glad you like it though. So let's see. Those 3 new things. Cool, and I think we have some paintings to put up too. So that's neat.
Considered redecorating. Don't look at me like that. It was just a suggestion.
Thank you, Lucian. Your suggestion has been noted. Just waiting for my BF to wake up, but unfortunately for me, I still gotta wait like 2 to 3 hours for him to get up for work. Oh, I understand the feeling. I am the type of person, I'm like an early riser. Like for me, it doesn't matter when I go to bed. Like I could go to bed at 1 a.m., I could go to bed at 10 p.m. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock. Like, no matter how hard I try, I think the latest I sleep usually nowadays is, like, maybe 8. Whereas David, he could sleep for, like, ever. David could sleep for, like, 7 billion years and be cooking, you know? He's built different, but I can't do it. Alright, let me see. Can I put paintings up in this one? Yeah, because I know we need some more paintings. Let's see. Maybe not. I thought I could put paintings here. Oh, this is where we just came from. I'm an idiot. All right. Where are the Daedric artifacts? Because I don't think they're hidden. It's the Dark Brotherhood, like, displays that are hidden. It's not the Hall of Wonders. Not the Hall of the Forgotten. That's going to be the Dwemer and the Snow Elves. Vice says, nah, you don't get sleep. Yeah, I woke up today. I went to bed at, like, 1. and I woke up at when did I wake up? I woke up at 7. Yeah. Hi Casey, welcome in, gamer. Welcome in. Is it East Exhibit Halls? No, I think it has a special name for it. I got 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, me and my parents, we went to a baseball game last night, and it was really fun. But we got back like super fucking late, and it was like, I felt like I should have just wanted to go to bed, but I didn't. Okay, let's see. I think it's up here then. Hi, Odin. It's still Sunday there. Yeah, it is. Currently, my time is 8:01 p.m. It's already Monday in Southeast Asia. Ooh. Had to restart my phone. That's okay. I was streaming till 4 a.m. Listen, I don't know what it is, and I think maybe it's because like I don't do like chill streams a lot, but it feels like no matter how hard I try, my voice starts like getting really tired at like the 3-hour mark. Like that's the max I can stream. Like I want to stream longer, you know, but it's like I also don't want to risk my voice getting hecked up. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's gotta like there's gotta be like a happy medium. You know? Does your vocal fry kick into hell? Yeah, I get really vocal fry, and then I don't feel good. You know? I like it hurts. You know? And like as someone who's a singing teacher for a living, you know, that's something where it's like I don't want to just like push past it. You know what I mean? Because if I don't have my voice, I'm fucked. Ah! What was that for? I didn't do anything. Oh my god, fish! Wait, when the fuck did... Wait. Since when the fuck did we have an aquarium? Holy shit, fish! That's so cool! I love fish! Fishing map? I love fish! For ages? Since version 4? How did I not notice this? What the fuck? Fish! Look at them! That's so cool! Fish! Fish! I love fish! Holy shit! Okay. Anyway, I'm not getting distracted by the fish. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay. Let's see. So, okay. This is for something else. This is not the DAEDRA stuff, I don't think. Those 5 fish in the tank are basically the same fish with different color. Oh, I mean, they're cute though. Thank you for the hydrate, Karma. I don't know. Okay, yeah, we do have some extra armor over here. Like the more niche armor displays, I guess? Unless they changed it and I just fucking missed it, which is possible. Whoa, this is cool. Great Welkin Stone? I thought I did have a Great Welkin Stone. Maybe I don't. Okay. Oh, these are the other things. Yeah, okay, that's the one beef I have, is sometimes I'll be like, yeah, this is a display. Or this isn't a display. And then it's like, actually, it is, you stupid idiot. Like, that was one of the things I could have crafted. I could have crafted those just now, but... whatever I know. Oh, and these are like spell tomes you can put in there? That's cool. Okay. Are you able to make merch with this outfit of yours, or is it copyright hell? So we are, because of the streamathon, we did meet one of the goals where we are getting a standee of this model. And I actually got the sketch for it back today, so we're like cooking on that. So because it's an inspired outfit, I can make merch of this. I just can't, like, in the merch, call it Skyrim model, right? What we're probably gonna call it is like, I don't know what we're gonna call it. Legally distinct fantasy eldritch horror keyword model. I don't know. I think we're like, a lot of times I call this my evil model or something like that, or like my eldritch model. So it's probably just gonna have a kind of a vague name. We need an EB plush though. I really want to make a plush at some point. I really do. I think with the thing with a plush, because I've looked into it, is with a plush you need to, it has a really high, so okay, when you make merch, by the way, does anyone know where the fuck the fucking DAEDRA stuff is? Maybe it's in here. I don't know. I've just been wandering and yapping. But I've actually looked into this because I have done merch before. I have done merch before. We did a merch drop, I think a year ago or something like that. Yeah, here it is. Okay. But basically, yeah, okay, here's the DAEDRA stuff. But let me finish my thought before I get distracted. Basically, the way it works is whenever you do merch for something, there's some things... Okay, I will get off topic for this one last time. Are the tentacles in your hair used for sexual purposes? They're not very long, but, like, if you want to, like, draw porn, then, like, pop off, I guess. Like... It could, I guess, you know. How long is your brightness? I can't see jack shit. Yeah, unfortunately, I have realistic lighting. And realistic lighting is fun until it's actually realistic. Here, let's go down here where it's a little bit brighter. Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying. Okay, should we'll keep her big-headed a little bit longer. Blurmaeus Blora. But basically, when you do merch, is you have to, with some items, when you get them from the manufacturer, you have to pick a manufacturer first. And I do all my manufacturing through Vograce when we did our last merch drop with my regular model, my witch model. Some items have a certain thing called, like, an MOQ, I think it's what it's called. It's like, I think it stands for, like, mark of quantity, right? And basically, due to manufacturing cost, some items you cannot manufacture unless you have a minimum MOQ, right? So, like, if I wanted to do a plush, a lot of places, I have to, a minimum order quantity, that's what it is. I have to have an MOQ of 50, right? Just because they're kind of expensive to make compared to other merch stuff. And, I mean, really, that's what it comes down to, is they're kind of expensive to make, they're hard to make, right? And based off of how the last merch drop went, I don't think I'm at a spot as a content creator where I could, you know, hit that. You know what I mean? I could hypothetically order 50 EB plushes myself. But then I could end up in the situation where I have, like, 40 EB plushes just around my house, and then I'm out $300. So we're not gonna do a plush quite yet. I'd buy one for real. I appreciate that. But if I don't want to ever say it will never happen. It's just one of those things where I'm kind of a small content creator, you know, and that doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like being small, you know. I get to, like, talk to you guys. It's not, like, super... Sometimes it's stressful to read chat when it goes really fast, but I'm getting better at it. One of the advices I heard from a friend of mine who is a bit bigger was basically, she's like, you can't always respond to every message. And that sucks, but sometimes it can, like, interrupt the stream, you know? So I try to respond to ones that I can, but it's one of those things where, please know that I am always reading them, right? I am always reading your messages, even if I don't, like, directly acknowledge them, you know? But basically, I don't think I'd be able to hit that, unfortunately, quite yet. So, pretty much, like, my goal as a content creator, I'd like to, this is gonna sound really stupid, and I talked about this during my debut, I'd like to be big enough to get a, standee, like a cardboard cutout at Off-Kai Expo. I don't know why, I just really want a cardboard cutout of myself. I think it'd be really neat. And then, I just kind of want to hit Twitch partner, like, just to, like, say I did it, like, just to stop seeing the thing in my Twitch dashboard that's like, path to partner, like, you know what I mean, like, just to, like, say that I did it, you know, just to, like, prove it to myself that, like, I can be an internet funny lady, you know. But after that, like, the idea of having, like, even 300, like, CCV sounds really scary to me. Like, I want to be, like, niche, if that makes sense. I don't want to be, like, the idea of being, like, as big as, like, Iron Mouse or being in, like, a big VTuber corpo sounds terrifying to me. Just because I say stupid shit sometimes, and I also just kind of, I don't know, you know, I feel like having that many people with their eyes on me all the time would be kind of stressful, you know? So I don't know if I could, like, handle it. You are an internet funny lady? Thank you. It'll move up to push to for partner plus. Yeah, and that's true, you know, but I don't know, you know? I don't know. Prove that autism be damned, this girl can cook. I'm trying to cook, right? Despite autism be damned, I'm trying to cook. But even though we do not have a plushie, we are going to have a standee coming out soon. It's going to be the same price as the same standee and the same size. I didn't realize this until they came in and I compared them to some of the other standees I had, but the ED standees are big. And I asked in Discord, like, do you guys want the standees to still be that big? And everyone was like, yes, big B. So if you have other standees and you order the EB standee, I might tower over everyone. Uh, but they're gonna be, I think they're like a foot tall. And last time they were $20, so they're probably gonna be the same this time, unless like costs have gone up or something like that. Cook what? Chicken, rice? I'll cook whatever you want, but I'm gonna cook some content. But yeah, so that's kind of how merch works, right? If we want to do other stuff, I'm not opposed to it. With all the merch, I do, I don't like, no one like ships it out for me. I ship it all out myself. And I try to write little handwritten notes with everything and give like little stickers and stuff to everyone. So know if you get a merch, it is going to come directly from me. It's not coming from like a person. I like ship it out of my little apartment. Maybe we'll even get like Jetmir's paw print on something. Just I don't know. It'll be my first standee. Thank you, Gamer. I appreciate you guys. You guys are so sweet to me. All right, we have Hircine. We've done Hircine's quest. We still need to do Vermeera? Oh, we gotta do Vermeera with Vanya. Okay, we gotta do Vermeera. We gotta do... I don't know what this one is. Let's see. We have to do Sheagorth still. I'm surprised we haven't done Sheagorths yet, honestly. Let's see. What else is there? We have to do Boethia, Volendrung, and Malakath. Okay, that's one we gotta do. And then here's the axe. So I guess well, hold on. I didn't realize this. I thought we could make a replica of the axe. Oh, that sucks. Can we not make a replica of it? Are you telling me that 100% the museum I have to kill a dog? You can? Oh, thank God. I don't know why it didn't show up as an option then. Yeah, we have Dawnbreaker. What else are we missing? Dusk and Dawn. That's probably Azura's Star. Yeah, that's gonna be Azura's Star. And then this is Sheagorth as well. But we do have... Yeah, we do have the Wabbajack. So what else do we have to do then to get some of these? Okay. We still have things to do. Rueful Axe is ass though, so not worth killing the doggy. That's the thing, is I don't want to kill a dog, but I do want the little thing in the museum. You know, I thought I could just make like a replica of it, you know? So we'll finish Black Star, and then we'll kind of just go down the list of all the DAEDRA quest, I think. I want to do Vermina's next. That's a really fun one. You only need to kill a replica dog. God damn it. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's try it again. Wait. Hello? Is it just me or is her ass out? Like, she has boots on, but her... Okay, she's my acquaintance, apparently. To make the replica, you need to get the axe, go to the museum, make a replica, and then finish the quest and get the mask instead. See, I already finished the quest. Am I fucked? Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Alright, where's the... How do I get out of here? Console commands. I don't want to be a cheater, but it might be necessary. Oh, good night, Blacksmith. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you get good rest. Well, that's okay. You did get the axe, you just didn't know about the weird sequence break. I mean, it's not cheating. It's using my resources. But yeah, so I think that'll be the next stage where we do. Although we will... Let me actually unbig her head. But we will... God damn it. Hey, girl. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let's put that away. Let's put that away. Your head is a normal size. Love it. Love it. Just give it a little smooch. Yeah. She does have high def lips. You know, she kind of looks like she got filler. And you know what? She looks good with it. Good for her. That's what we really did when we redesigned Vanya's character. We just gave her filler. Okay. Let's see. Honestly, when it comes down to who we're going to have fix the star, I'm kind of just going to do whoever's closer. Just fuck it, you know? Let me see. All right, let's see. Who is closer? Nelakar's over there. Irania's over there. I kind of want to bring into the lady at the Shrine of Azura. One, what Karma said, Irania's hotter. And two, I feel like I kind of trust her more because she's like a priestess of Azura, right? Like, I feel like Nelikar's not gonna be respectful. You know what I mean? Now, would Vanya care about that? No. But, well, we'll do what she would do. We'll do what she would do. In that case then. And we will be disrespectful. So, well, actually, no, if she want... Because I feel like also, even though, like, she wouldn't care, I feel like she would respect the priestess's opinion more. You know? Because I feel like Vanya's kind of a, like, smartass. So she may, like, think she knows more than him, but not more than her. You know what I mean? Hi, mamas! Take it to the shrine if you're a loser simp. Take it to the elf if you're a giga chad. I'm not a simp. Yeah. I'm a giga chad. I am a giga chad. Okay. I'm gonna be a giga chad. I can do it. Yeah. 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 That's all I got to say. Okay. Hi Nelikar. Although oh my god, it's like lightninging. Oh, it's really pretty right now, by the way. Wait, what? I need to fix my chicken textures. I accidentally, uninstalled something I wasn't supposed to, and now all the chickens look like this. While I was testing the load order for my new playthrough that's coming up. Okay. Ignore the fucked up chickens. They're not a factor here. Okay.
Come on in. Let me know
Hi.
if you need anything. Or take
All
a
right,
seat
where's
by the fire and I'll
Nelikar?
send someone over.
Hey, Bessie.
Stendar's mercy. You found it. Azora's star.
I sure did.
Maybe this is my chance to make things right. I can finish Malin's work the way we had meant to before his madness. It would mean cutting the star off from Azora. Only black souls would be able to enter it once we finished.
Let's do it.
Give me a minute to examine the star. I'll see what we'll need to do. These fissures and cracks aren't encouraging. Malin obviously was growing more desperate once he left the college. He did it. He actually managed to trap his own soul inside the star. But
Damn,
it's
that's
falling
crazy.
apart. It needs more and more souls to sustain itself. The star is being used to sustain Malin's soul. I can't fix it.
So we gotta
while
like
that
suck
fragment
the
of
soul
him is
out with a
inside.
silly straw. How do we deal with it?
Precisely. But it's not as simple as enchanting Malin away. He's put up barriers. Souls are only allowed in, not out. If we were to somehow
Oh, I know where
send
this
a
is
soul
going.
inside
They're
the
gonna
star,
put me in the fucking
one that was
star.
ready to overpower
Die in
Malin
a
from the
star and
inside.
stop. You want to send my soul inside, don't you?
A special type of soul trap, placing you inside the star without fully killing you. Once Malin has been dealt with, I'll bring you back.
All
I
right.
understand if you need some time to prepare. Let me know when you're ready.
I mean, I should be fine. Let me see. How much? We're at like... I feel like there's gonna be stuff I want to bring back. Let me actually drop off some stuff in the... There should be a, like, Dragonborn Gallery drop box somewhere. I think outside of here, actually. I kind of want to drop some stuff off just to, like, unload my carry weight a little bit more, just so I can grab more stuff in there if I want to. Here we go. Okay, museum shipments, because I think I never put away the... Yeah, I never put away the build materials, and that's taking up a lot of weight. Also, why is it not letting me put the emerald claw in? Flawed Violet Stone. Let's see. Yeah, I knew I had a Grand Welkin Stone. What the fuck is it talking about? Okay, hinges, we don't need that. It won't let me put away the Ivory Dragon Claw either. I might need to put those up manually. We'll put these in here, these in here, these in here, and a leg just for the fun of it, I guess. That we don't need. Why do I have that urn? Oh yeah, that's part of a quest. Put these souls in here, I guess. And the stuffed dog is also a quest item. Okay, that cleared up some space. We should be... Oh, wait, let's get rid of the dragon bone and the firewood, too. Okay, there we go. Crafting feathers we can get rid of. This we can get rid of. The glass we can get rid of. That should be good. Oh, yeah, now we're at, like, 261. Can you define being partially killed? Just a little bit murder. Just a little, you know? Just a little murder. This is a treat. A little being murdered, you know, just as for funsies. All right, hello? Where'd he go? Oh, that's where he is. Okay. Hey.
I told you what you wanted to know. What else could you want?
You to get off the table, if that's all right. I'm ready to enter the star.
Okay, stand very still. This might sting.
Okay.
First, I'll need to grab hold of your soul.
Oh, okay.
Now, take a deep breath.
Oh.
Ah, my disciples have sent me a
I can't
fresh soul.
see him. My
Good.
skelly's in the
I was
way.
getting hungry. Why? There's something different about you.
You can't escape your fate.
And who are you to challenge
I can't
me?
fucking see
I have
him.
conquered mortality itself. I've spat in the eyes of the Daedric lords. This is my realm now.
This is Vanya's future
sacrificed
if
so
she
much
doesn't
to let
have
you
her
take
cute
it from
druid
me.
boyfriend to keep her from going insane. All right, let's. Oh, I remember this one now. Oh, this. Oh, look at their little run. No, don't run off the cliff. Come on, this way, buddy. This way. Oh shit. Okay, he's got homies in here. Okay. Can I summon stuff here? I should be able to. There's no reason I shouldn't. Legwolf, thank you for the hydrate. All right, I'm gonna send the flesh daddies in while I hydrate. All right, there we go. Are you? Jesus Christ! Are we not being just a little excessive? Oh my God. Okay, guys, come on. You can cross the bridge. Let's go across the. Oh my God. Across. Oh shit. Across the bridge. Okay, let's. Maybe some ranged ladies would do us some good. There we go. Okay. But guys. Guys. Okay, at least we got his
Malin's
ass.
enchantments are broken.
Jesus Christ!
Hold
Why
on.
is he so loud?
I'm going to pull your soul out of there.
No, I
Brace
wanted
yourself.
to loot him. I want to loot him. Let me loot him. Oh, he doesn't have anything good actually. Okay. Why was bro so loud? Does this guy? Do you guys have blood? Right? Blood? Okay, well that works, I guess.
Come on in. Just open
That was weird.
Easy there. The numbness will pass. Just don't strain your.
Damn. Okay.
We've done it. The star has been cut off from
His
Azora,
buddies have DAEDRA hearts.
and Malin's soul finally has
Oh.
some measure of peace, even if it is non-existence.
Well, what do we do with it now?
Now, you could use it for what we meant it for.
I'm gonna put
Using
it in my
black
museum
souls
because
for
I think it's neat.
The black star will never decay, but it can no longer hold the white souls of lesser creatures. You keep it. I'd sooner finally put this chapter of my life behind me. Congratulations. You've changed the fate of a Daedric artifact and lived.
All in a day's work. Okay, and we're not going to seduce him. What? What's this? Wait, Dremora Kiss. Oh, that's an artifact. Okay, give me that. Oh, I don't know what that means. A
Just
unique-
glad all that business
Why
with
is he
Malin
sitting
is
on me?
over with.
Bro's trying to sit
What
on
did
my
you need?
lap. Leave me alone. Oh wait, bro, wait, you got books. Would you like to make a donation to the Dragonborn Gallery? Because you got some books I'm very interested in. You see me? Can I, here, maybe we can just...
What are you doing that for?
Don't worry about it. Oh, fuck. My skellies are in the way. Okay. Come on. No, no.
Good to see you.
Yeah, uh-huh. Come on. No! I'm trying to... Okay, hold on. Skellies, you're making this real hard.
Careful with that.
I know. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Aha. Aha. He'll never know what hit him.
May I help you, Archmage?
You could seduce him with the basket on his head. I'm not gonna, but you could. All right, bye-bye. Okay.
Away from me.
What the fuck did I do?
Away from me.
What did I do? You get away from me. Fuck out of here. Maybe he likes being blindfolded. You know, I could see him being a bit of a freak like that. I really could. Okay. I feel like you would only want to with the basket on his head. Damn. I mean, like, he's not, like, ugly. He's just, Now I'm thinking about it. I do like elves. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break just because I haven't been running ads like I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to run like an ad or like ads every hour just to like disable pre-rolls and stuff like that. And I forgot to do that. So I'm gonna run my ads now. And then when we come back, we will start. I think we'll do either what's the one? Well, we might look it up and we'll pick one together. But we're gonna, I need some more water and I need to use the bathroom. So if you've been here since the start of the stream, now's your time to go get a snack or the bathroom. There's not gonna be any, you're not gonna miss anything through the ads. I'm not gonna start playing again till the ads are done. So we'll be right back. I did get some new cool, you know, overlays and stuff with the new model debut. But the one thing that is always consistent is going to be my BRB screen. So we will be back in a few minutes. Okay. Let me go back to game. There we go. Okay, we're back. Also, do you guys want to see... I know we were talking about merch earlier. Do you guys want to see the sketch for the standee? Let me find it. Here we go. Ta-da! It's just a sketch. We're still waiting for it to be colored, but this is going to be what the standee's going to look like, essentially. I'm very excited for it. Let me turn my BGM off. Now that we're about to be playing Skyrim again. But yeah, I think she looks so cute. Oh, Casey, thank you so much for the 6 months of tier 1. I appreciate you. You have 6 PlayStation 2s. Congratulations. But thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate you. But yeah, like the body is bodying, the book is booking, and teeth. I love my stupid little teeth. Alright, let's get back to Skyrim. So that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to see, let me see, list of DAEDRA quests. Because there's one I'm thinking of, it's not the Vermina one, there's one I want to do that's like, what was it? The cannibalism one. It is Vermina. Oh, okay, Namira, not Vermina. Vermina's the sleepy time one. Namira's the cannibalism one. I want to do that one. Let's do that one next. How do I trigger that one, though?
Go to the Markarth.
Oh, I gotta go to Markarth.
Nothing good happens in Markarth.
Oh, man. That's actually... That's homophobic. I can't believe they're making me go to Markarth. This is so fucked up. Alright. Alright. Am I allowed in Markarth, actually? Am I gonna get arrested if I head over there? We're about to find out, you know. I don't want to go to Markarth. I don't want to go to Markarth. Okay. Hello. Alright, just me and my boners. Nothing. I sure hope no one gets murdered again over here, because that was...
bloodiest beef in the reach.
Yeah, that was really weird when we murdered that person. That was pretty crazy. I wouldn't wish Markarth on my worst enemy. I mean, I don't know. The sentence why are all the children afraid of me? What did I do? I look like a nice person. Vanya doesn't look mean and evil. Well, she kind of is. Like, does she look evil? She kind of does. Okay, maybe it does make sense for children to be afraid of her. A little awkward, but, you know. Alright, where is the house of the thing of the dead? Hall of the dead. That's where we want to go. Okay. So we're heading in the right direction. Probably. I sentence you to Markarth. Yeah, that is sick and twisted, actually. That is sick and twisted. I think, actually, I remember when we first started this playthrough way back when, Markarth was, like, the first, I believe was, the Forsworn Conspiracy was, like, the first thing, we did. Why are the children of... Listen. Oh, wait, why is it, wait, what? Why isn't it open? Stop having the Hall of the Dead be locked. Open it. It's 9 a.m. Here, I'll wait an hour. How is the Hall of the Dead not open yet? Open the hall. You need to talk to the priest first? Okay, he's somewhere in the palace. Okay, let's do that then. Because, man, I would like to eat people. Like, I think it'd just be fun and quirky to do that. You know, I think it would just be fun, you know? So, let's go talk to the priest and see if we can get this quest, because I think that'd be fun. But I still have a lot of stuff I need to plan out with my new playthrough. So, it's still probably gonna be like a month before I start it, but I definitely, like that's what, like, I wanted to figure out today, like, what are the things we have to do before we end with Vanya? And I've decided, like, the Thane quest, I don't think we need to finish them all, because the Thane quests are kind of boring.
Summoner,
but
conjure me up a warm bed, would you?
Conjure me your mom's ass in my mouth. Anyway, I'm really sorry about that. But basically, I've decided, the Thane quests are kind of boring, but I definitely want to do all the, thank you for the clip shoes, I appreciate you. I definitely want to do all the DAEDRA quests before we're done with her. The next time we bring this character out, we're most likely going to be doing it with, she's probably going to have a vigilant, focus playthrough.
You have the honor of addressing a member of the Thong.
Oh, shut up. You're not who I need to talk to. It's probably going to be based off the Vigilant mods and the sequel mod to that, which I believe the 3rd chapter should be coming out soon. I don't remember what it's called, but I've heard very good things about it. So we will bring her back for, like, a focus playthrough at some point, because I just feel like there's so many more sick and twisted things we can do, you know? Ah! Thank you, Bron! Hello! Hello, 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 hello! Bron, Faith, welcome in, Raiders. Hello. If a mod could shout out Braun, I would appreciate it. Hello, Karina. Hello, bestie. So, if you are new in town, if you have not seen me before, hello. My name is EB Games. My name is EB, and I like games. Today we are playing Skyrim. I like Skyrim a lot. So if you like Sky and Rim, then you are in the right place. But we are currently playing our Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss War Criminal character. Her name is Vanya. She is a blood mage. So we are currently, her playthrough will be coming to an end soon. I think we have like 100 hours in on her. But we are trying to do every DAEDRA quest before we retire her. Isn't she a cutie? Isn't she just the most beautiful war criminal you've ever seen? Can I get a copy of Skyrim for the Samsung Smart Fridge? Listen, if you ask Todd, he'll do it. He'll do it. But how is your stream, Braun? What did you play? Welcome in, everybody. I'm trying to do cannibalism, but I need to find the man that will let me do cannibalism. Will you let me do cannibalism?
I have meals to cook for the entire castle.
My boner's in the way. Sorry, not my literal boner. I call my skeleton children my boners. I feel like I should clarify that for the new friends with us today. Okay, let me see. Where is the priest? Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense for him to be in the kitchen. Where do priests go? There, thank you so much for the follow. You're not Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. I appreciate you. Let's see. If I can't get Todd to fix Starfield. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Where is bro? Where is Mr. Priest Man? If I was a priest man, where would I be?
And we're watching.
Shut up. Anyway, I will always sass a Thalmor. I don't give a shit. Are you? Well, hold on.
Excellent. You've done us a
Wait, what did I do?
service. Here is your reward.
Oh shit! Thanks. Okay. I think he just gave me money.
I'm Igman's uncle.
That's the
as well as the
steward. Where's the priest? That's the house Carl. That's just the gal. Where the fuck is the priest? It's somewhere in the palace. I love realistic lighting, but I hate when it's realistic. It's dark as balls in here. Okay, here we go. I can't see shit. Are you the priest?
Up for a little hunting?
You... Oh, you are not the priest, but that's okay.
Take care of yourself.
You got big ass ears. I like that. Okay, anyway, let's see, maybe he's over here. No, that's where the blacksmith is. Let's see, maybe over here. Well, this is like the bottom of the palace. This is like the entranceway. Y'all really gotta clean up in here. There's like rocks and shit everywhere. It's not very clean. She had ears. I must have missed that. Oh, she had big old ears. It was a karaoke stream. Oh, that's awesome. I love that for you. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good time. I'm trying to find this priest so I can start eating people. I just want to be a cannibal. I think it'll be really fun and quirky. Let me see. I don't see him. Although I don't go to Markarth very often, so I don't know the layout of the castle really well. Fuck Markarth, by the way. What is the name of the priest? Yeah, I don't see him, but I don't think David would lie to me. He would never do that. He really would never. Maybe it's up here, actually. Yeah, I think it might be in here. Hello? Mr. Priest?
Take care with those flames.
Sorry. Mr. Priest? Mr. Priest? I'm here to eat people. You don't look like a priest. You look like a guy.
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors.
I don't want to be a strong, capable warrior. I want to be a felon. Okay. No luck over here. Where the fuck is he? Genuinely do not know. Maybe he's in the ruins, maybe? Where we did that one other quest?
What do you need, my friend?
I'm not sure. I want to eat people, but they're making it very hard
I'm the
to.
Jarl's personal blacksmith.
Yeah,
That
that's...
doesn't mean I can't sell you a few pieces for a fair price.
I don't know. Let me see if I can look it up. I might look it up real quick. Although, can't just ask the Jarl about it, can I?
Good to have you by my side, friend.
No.
I need reliable
Okay.
people around.
Let's see. I am kind of just walking in circles.
Another quiet day, I hope.
I hope. Well, no. Can the dog help me? No. Okay, that's fine. That's all right. Are you a priest?
Don't mind the dogs. They get anxious when they haven't had dinner.
Okay. Let me look it up, because I'm kind of curious, actually. Let me see. What's the name of the quest again? The Taste of Death. Blocking a door to the Hall of the Dead. Okay. You can find him in Understone Keep, blocking a door to the Hall of the Dead. So, bro's gonna be by a door. Okay. That, kind of narrows it down, but, well, let's see. Do we have a local map? Like a map of the keep? That's the excavation site. Well, we haven't been over here. Maybe it is actually, by the stairs. Like, I feel like that would make sense. Where is the door? The door. That's the door we came from. Yeah, it might be over here, actually. He's in the keep standing by the Hall of the Dead. Yeah, I'm trying to find where the door is for that. Oh, it's probably up here. Hi, David.
Do I need to guide you to where the Hall of Dead entrance is?
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
Help me.
Okay. Go down that hall.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's very messy in here. It's hard to get anywhere, and it's so dark. How the fuck am I supposed to find it? They need to clean up in here.
Left.
Left.
That way.
Left. Left.
Keep going.
Left.
Keep going.
Left.
Keep going.
Left. Is
There
that
it
the
is.
guy? That's the guy. Thank you, David. Now I can eat people.
I didn't realize you were
If it's
wandering
about the
around
Hall of
lost
the Dead,
last time.
no. You can't go in.
Why can't I go in?
I can't talk about it. Rest assured, the Jarl hears everyone's concerns. You will be able to visit the dead again soon.
Well, I do have, my Riz skill is pretty high, so I might be able to persuade him. I can help if you tell me.
All right. I was going to suggest...
There
the
we
Jarl
go.
hire
Riz
someone to
increased to
sort this mess out
53.
anyway.
You love to see
We've
it.
discovered that some of the dead have been... eaten.
Damn, okay.
Flesh has been chewed off. Bones were snapped to get at the marrow inside.
Okay,
We haven't
eating
caught anyone or anything
meat
yet.
off people I can
Looks like his
understand, but
nose
sucking
went
the
there.
marrow out,
If
that's
you can get to the bottom
that's a
of
little
this,
freaky.
The priesthood of Arcade will reward
Why
you.
can't the cannibals be
Take
normal?
my key and be careful.
We miss him already. Goodbye, David.
Tread
Okay,
lightly.
let's see. Where's those people eaters? Where? Hello? Let me see. Is this a quest? Give me the quest. Might just be a miscellaneous right now. Investigate the Hall of the Dead. Yeah. Okay.
Not many would
Whoa.
walk blindly into a crypt, smelling of steel and blood,
They're so loud.
but not fear. I feel the hunger inside of you, gnawing at you. You see the dead, and your mouth grows wet. Your stomach growls.
I mean, I was thinking of door dashing. Whoa, that skeleton's got a mohawk. What the fuck?
Yes? It's all right. I will not shun you for what you are.
It's a child.
Stay. I will tell you everything you have forgotten.
Rant. Bro, your haircut is sick as hell. I could adopt you.
Really? Do you have a place I can live?
Oh shit, I don't have a kid's room. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that skeleton is rad as hell. I don't even know what...
You were young when you first tasted human flesh, weren't
Oh.
you? A brother or sister had died? An accident, of course.
Why is she saying
Then
that
the
like
hunger
it's
set
a
in.
common experience?
What's the harm in just
Like-
one bite? It's okay now. You found
I
a
don't
friend who understands.
think that is. Like,
You
I
can
get
let go of your
Skyrim's a harsh and unforgiving place, but I don't think it's like a normal experience to accidentally eat the flesh off a dead person. Like, why is she phrasing it like that? What are you trying to do to me? I'm not a cannibal.
A lot of our
I'm just a
block
blood
out memory
mage.
of their first meal. The shame is too much. But you don't need to hide anymore. Namira, the Lady of Decay, accepts you for what you are.
Oh.
She has a place for us where we can sate our appetites without judgment.
Oh, that's nice of her, I suppose. Where is that?
It's inside Reachcliff Cave. But the dead have stirred from their slumber recently, and I was forced here. Meet me there. We'll fight.
You think
our way
they're gonna
to
try
the
to
years
eat my
of grace
skeletons?
Until
You think
then,
they're gonna
tell
eat
the
my
people of
boners?
Markarth that their
'Cause
dead
that would
won't
be very
disturbed
rude.
Anymore. We have bigger plans ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, we did get the quest started. Yippee. But that's also a little weird. So, let's talk to the Jarl or the priest guy outside and tell him it's all good to go. It's all Gucci. And then we'll head to, oh, yeah, then we'll head to Reach Cliff Cave. I think that'll be good. Okay. Let's see. Loading screen, loading screen, loading, loading, loading screen. Hey.
You've returned. What happened in the Hall of the Dead?
It's all safe now.
Divines preserve you. You're a hero. We'll reopen the hall right away. Here, take my amulet as a reward.
Oh, thanks, man. Okay, cool.
Have yourself a great day.
Thank you, you too. All right, let's see where... Oh, the Reach Cliff Cave's just like right down here. Damn, okay. Well, shit, I didn't know it was that close. Oh, wait, no, I think it's leading me... Well, hold on. Where is it leading me? Is it just leading me outside the... Oh? Nothing don't look right about that door, but that's... That's fine, I guess. That's cool. Alright, let's see. Alright, where is the closest? We're gonna do... We have a few things to do, actually. Oh, Reach Cliff Cave's right over here. And then we also have a lot of quests, like, right near that, too. So that's actually kind of convenient. I don't think these are DAEDRA quests, but they looked interesting. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But let's go to Reach Cliff Cave. Alright. I think I have cleared this before. And I think I, like, stopped before. I think I, like, realized it was part of a quest, and then I stopped. But let's see. Hi. Yeah, because there's a bone altar right here. Hey.
You've come. The Draugr infesting the Mirror Sanctuary are inside.
I'll handle it. I'll take care of him.
Then I'll wait.
Okay. I respectfully, you seem nice. Well, besides the whole eating people thing. But I have too many people to keep track of. I do not need, Jesus Christ, it's dark. I do not need another person getting in the way. So we'll use Fireball because it's Draugr we have to clear out. They're not really gonna, oh God, that's bright. I don't think my blood magic is gonna be, Jesus Christ. I don't know why it does, like, no damage. Do I have... well, it's reduced armor and magic resistance. And my attacks are less effective against the undead. Oh, that's right, I have the fear of the undead. In that case, then, I guess I'll just spawn in some friends. There we go. Hello! Oh, damn, he hit me good. Okay. Alright. Take care of it! You got it, besties! You got it! Alright, I'll scout ahead. Oh, wait, no, that is ahead. Okay, cool. Alright, you guys, excuse me, sir. You guys handle that. I'll keep going. There's another one over there. We'll just, do this. There we go. And I'm just gonna duck and weave. Woohoo! Alright, you should be able to handle it. Yeah, you got this. Oh, shit. Okay, that one has magic. Okay. Oh, wait, wait, I was defeated here? Okay, hopefully that gets rid of my fear of the undead. Oh, shit. Okay, come on. Get him. Get him. But you can do it. Slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. One more. There we go. Come on, ladies. All right, there we go. Perfect. And then let me actually just keep candlelight on hand. There we go. Wait, what? Yes! Okay, we have the fear of the undead debuff removed. Okay, God bless. Maybe I will do damage now with Fireball. We'll have to try it. Yeah, I did die here. Okay, cool. You love to see it. Let's see. Yeah, let's try Fireball again and see if that, or Firebolt and see if that's... Are any of you guys gonna wake up? Wakey, wakey! Okay, we're doing damage now. Okay, I think that's why we were doing, like, no damage to them, even with the fire stuff, is we just... The debuff. Okay, hello? Shit, okay, they're circling me. Ooh, chest. Okay, hop! Oh, shit! But, okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Now I can actually do something against them. I didn't realize how long I had that fucking debuff for. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me see. Oh, shit, we have, hold on. No, I don't, stay. We have 2 Eldritch pages. So since we follow Hermaeus Mora, we can sometimes pick up Eldritch pages off of people we kill. And if we read them, he makes him happy. So we're gonna read them. We have a student's tower. Over such knowledge, wars are being fought. With such knowledge, wars are won. Interesting. Then we have the wrathful deities. You realize they thought it was just a scrap of paper. Fools. All right, we're at 37.6. We still need to pray more to him, but you know we're on a right path. It's just I always forget to remember to pray. All right, let's see. Over here, I think is where we're supposed to go. Hello? Shit. Should just take 2 of these. Perfect. Oh goddamn. Okay. Yellow. And then give me my... Yeah, now we can put candlelight on this hand, I think. Because now I can actually hold my own a little bit more. We'll take these. Take that, take that. Any good books? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Alright. Here we go. The rest of this should be easy peasy, though. Now that we have the debuff removed. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello! Level 6. Yeah, he's like a baby. Okay, that should be fine. Wait. Oh, stop. Okay, there we go. This one. Okay, I need to... Oh, shit. Okay. I'm dodging. Okay, there we go. He's down. Right, guys, come on. This is a team effort. Come on, just walk through the door. Walk through the door. It's not hard. It's not... Oh, Jesus. It's not difficult. We just gotta walk through. We just gotta walk through the door. Come on, come on. Guys. 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 Oh my god, you're holding up the line. He's holding up the line. There we go. Okay, you've got your sword out. Oh my god, now I can't see. Okay. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Was it? I don't know why. I love my skeleton babies. They're adorable, but they're so afraid of everything. Wait, what's going on here? Wait, hold on. Oh, hello. Wait, oh. I guess she's on her period. Have a Snickers. Alright, anyway. Let's go find the cannibal lady and tell her that we are all safe. Alright, let's do... Where's my fast boy move? Fast boy. Okay, there we go. Whee! Alright, oh, cool. This should be... What's back there? What is... Oh! How'd you get back there?
I'm sorry. Did I hear that right? Did they just make you the new archmage?
Oh, honey, we are way past that. Yes.
But, I mean, with the greatest of respect, that's insane. How long have we been members of the college? What qualifications do you have?
I mean...
Divines, how many lessons have we actually attended? Because that is a very small number, I can assure you. And now they want you to run the whole place?
I'm as shocked as you are.
We're hardly ever even here. We have so many other commitments, it's actually ridiculous.
Stop, Lucian, you're making too much sense!
I studied in Cyrodiil, because this place is totally off its rocker.
You're questioning Todd's writing. You can't do that, Lucian. They're gonna get you, and you're making too much sense. All right.
Let's get moving before we end up permanent residents of this delightful place.
Lucian's too smart to be in Skyrim. Lucian, you deserve to be in a game with better writing. You deserve better. Oh, wait, did we go through? Yeah, we did go through that chest. Hello? Oh, did she already come in here? She might already be inside. Hold on. Where'd we go? Where's the path? I'm stupid? Oh, yeah, because I think I fell off of here. How do I get back out? He is baby girl. I love him. I don't care what playthrough we're doing. I don't care the theme of it. We're always including him because he is the baby girl, honestly. Okay. Hi. Oh. Hi.
You've done it. The shrine is ours again. Now we need to prepare a grand feast to welcome you to Namira's coven. You will have the honor of bringing a fresh kill for the main course.
Yummy!
And I know the perfect person.
Oh. You know, just tell me who needs to die.
A priest filled with the taste of an
Oh!
Brother Verilus from Markarth.
Oh.
Give him this gold.
Ooh.
Tell him you need Arcae's help exploring an old cavern for treasure. And when he stands in Namira's presence, she will take care of the rest.
Okay, Lady of Decay, ruler of shadows, and patron of revolting creatures and people. I mean, is Vanya revolting? Like, she does make people spontaneously combust by boiling their blood. So that's not, I don't know if that's revolting, but it's not, like, a great quality. Murder the innocent, poison your weapons, eat the corpses of the dead, be generous to beggars. Well, we don't use a weapon, so we'll still stick with Hermaeus more. I feel like that one still does make the same amount of sense. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like, would Vanya be an actual cannibal? No, I don't think so. But if, like, she had to, like, eat someone to, like, for, like, a ritual purpose, I feel like she'd do it. But she wouldn't get any enjoyment out of it. Like, she'd probably throw up afterwards. Like, she would absolutely throw up. But I feel like she wouldn't, like, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, she'd do it if it was needed for science, question mark. But she wouldn't seek it out. You know what I mean? I feel like she is kind of the embodiment of just eating all the ingredients in Skyrim just to see what happens. Maybe that's why she's, like, so frail. Alright, let's head back to Understone Keep and find Orvarulis, or Verulis, whatever his name is. We're gonna have to go munch on him, I suppose. But that's fine. That's fine. Alright, oh, the game crashed. Awkward. Okay, let me mute my audio because it makes some weird noises sometimes when it starts up again. I don't know what happened there. That should have been fine. Maybe it was just my PC was like, "Hey, girl, can we take a minute?" So I mean, that's our only crash today, though. So you know, I'll take that. I will take that. All right, let's see. Is she coming up? Is she coming up? Okay, Skyrim? I see the little icon. Just give it time. She'll come. She'll come. The game says no eat people. Yeah, the game's trying to give me a moral compass, but I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Okay, she's coming. Now we're good. Now we're good. Okay. Oh, it's still making a weird noise. Making a weird noise. Okay. Thankfully, I feel like my moral compass is like, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like my moral compass is like a game spinner. You know what I mean? I just flick it and see what happens. Whatever I land on is what we go with for the day. That's where I'm at. Okay. Let's see where it puts us back out, actually. Because it should have autosaved when we left the cave. I was thinking it was just perpetually spinning. You know what? That I feel like probably makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so we're back out here. Let's try this again. And if it... Well, let's let it, like, marinate for a second. Because you can see it's doing, like, the little startup task for NFF. Let's try it again. Maybe it was just bad luck. And, if it still does the same thing, then we'll see. We'll see. Okay, Understone Keep. Because we fast traveled to Understone Keep with no problem before. Didn't we? Yeah, I don't think we've had any problems with Understone Keep so far. So there's no, like, reason for it. Okay. It might have just been being a little silly then. That would make sense. All right. Let's head inside and let's kill a man. Okay. Well, we're not killing. Well, we're not being the murderer this time. We're just an accessory to murder this time, which is still not, you know, a great choice, but, well, is the punishment for being an accessory to murder the same one as being a murderer? Is it like a state-by-state thing? Or is it like they can't let you off with a warning for that? I don't know, man. All right, where? Oh. Maybe he's actually in the Hall of the Dead now. That would make sense. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Mr. Priestman, are you here? Are you here, Mr. Priestman? I need to talk to you. Yeah, he's here. Okay. Right.
Wow, look at all the colors.
Accessory to murder? Just don't do it again. Okay. Oh, wait. We need that.
Good to see you again.
We need that. We need that. We need that. Oh, God. Oh, perfect.
Careful with that.
Here, just wait 1 second. Oh, God damn it. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I just... A little further. Oh, I missed. God damn it. Okay. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. I need that jade statue. It's a display in the museum.
Careful with that.
Oh, shit! Oh.
Keep it.
Oh, thanks, man. What about this one? That is a very high value. I don't think he's gonna be chill about that one. And he's not looking. Just a shrink. Oh my god, he's stupid. God bless. Okay.
It's nice to see a friendly face around
Oh,
Goodbye then.
wait, what? It was a bucket! It was a bucket! Are you fucking... Bro, he even said, he baited me. Did you see that? He was like, don't worry, keep it. And then the fucking guards came. Okay, you know what? Actually, I don't feel bad about murdering him anymore. That was some dirty work. Oh yeah, it's fine, it's cool. Then the fucking cops are here. Yeah, no, you're getting eaten. You are getting eaten, buddy boy. All right, and before I do that, I am going to steal your jade statue. Let me not accidentally steal. Oh, here, why don't you wear this? God damn it. You wanna walk away for a little bit? You wanna go,
I hope life's treating you well, friend.
Yeah, I'm doing great, actually. Why don't you go, oh. Oh. Yeah, why don't you do that for a second, and I'll just, do that. All right, perfect. Anyway.
Hello, friend.
I am in need of a priest in my travels.
You are looking for Arkay's protection while you delve some dank tomb,
A dank tomb?
My duties keep
Oh,
me busy
damn,
in
okay.
Markham. I don't know if I can help you.
I'd love to go to a dank tomb, actually. There would be treasure to share.
Treasure, you say?
Oh, yeah.
I suppose.
Oh,
the
I'm
Jarl
such a
won't mind if I'm
Rizzler.
gone
We
for
got
a
him.
while.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Lead on.
Oh, you are getting eaten. They are gonna fucking serve you with some corn and mashed potatoes. Alright, let's see. Do cannibals, like, that's actually a question I have. Like, and maybe we'll get the answer to this. Do cannibals do side dishes? Like, I don't know. Like, is it like a steak dinner where you have, like, the mashed potatoes and veggies on the side? Can I get soup and salad with my human meat? Or do they just, like, or are the sides also the meat? You know, is it like a barbecue situation where it's like you get the, I don't know. Like, would that work? Question mark. Do they do side dishes? I need to know. I don't know. I remember me and my friends were talking about the Cannibal Cafe website the other day, and they didn't know the story. My friends didn't know the story about that one guy that, like, cut his dick off and ate it, and I had to be like, hey guys, did you this is not making me look good, by the way. I don't remember how it came up, but I was like, yeah, did you guys hear the story about the guy that cut his own dick off and, like, or no, he didn't cut his own dick off, he cut someone else's dick off and he, like, ate it, and they were like, no, the fuck are you talking about? And then I told them the story about the consensual cannibalism case, and yeah, and then we played League of Legends. If you're wondering what the EB Games friend experience is like, it's playing League of Legends and me telling you weird fucked up shit I find on the internet. Okay, let's see. Are you coming, Mr. Priestman? Mr. Priestman? Priest me, man. That's not how that works. Is he gone? It's here, Skelly's. Where's our priest? Maybe he'll, like, teleport over there once we walk over there. We are kind of going a little fast. We are zooming. We're also jumping off of cliffs, which is understandably something he may not want to do. And I respect that. I really do. Okay, let's see. Can I do my fast boy move, actually? Where's my fast boy move? Here we go. Oh, I have fast boy move on. Whee! Oh, here it is. What? Let me in. Oh, okay. Secret entrance. Ooh. And I still don't see him. Maybe he'll teleport in when we're inside. You guys hear Jetmir? Jetmir's meowing. Hi, Jetmir. Oh, he left. Oh, bye, Jetmir. Okay. Well, I guess that works. Maybe he'll just teleport in. Is he here? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Okay, the gang's all here. Do you think Lucian's gonna be cool with me, eating a person? I don't think he will be. I think he might get a little angry at me for that one, but... Oh, damn. Y'all really, decorated the place, huh? Really went to town on that. Okay. Hey. Hey, guys. Oh, yummy. Oh, they do have side dishes. Oh, you got sweet rolls, cheese. Oh. Do you think they do wine pairings with meat?
I'm your friend.
Is human flesh like something you do with like a red or a white?
I'm your friend, and I've invited you to dinner.
I've been invited to dinner. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I fed him nothing.
Why don't you lay down and rest while we get
He had some M&Ms that were in my pocket.
Definitely a red. I'll just be a minute.
Come with me. Our feast is about to begin.
Okay, yippee. Are we going up here?
Ah, the new disciple.
Hey.
I hear you have quite the appetite.
Yeah, I really love, I could really go for a cane splatter right now, actually. Hi, do you want to crawl into this woman's vagina? I feel like that's what's going on. Sorry, the period joke just writes itself. Why did he just do that? Did they like hypnotize him? Why is bro just... Oh, do I kill him? Oh, Brother Virilus is my friend. Can I get some arcade tenders? I guess I just murder him? Or do you guys... Do I gotta murder him? Okay, I guess I'm murdering him. Let's do one of these moves, I guess. Well, that didn't work. Oh. Did you see that? Did you see that with this health bar? I feel like something isn't... Oh, she just took her sweet time getting up. Oh my god, the boners are blocking her. The fucking boners are blocking her. Oh no. Alright, get up there. Guys, make way. Make way. Give her some space. Come on, guys. You're in the way. They embarrassed me at the Applebee's. They embarrassed me at the Shrine of Namira.
The meal is on Namira's table. Go ahead, carve.
Oh, now I kill him? Oh, okay. I just jumped the gun, I guess. Can I boil your blood? There we go. It probably would have been a real bummer if I had the 5% chance that he just exploded. Like, they're all ready to eat this guy and he just combusts. How do I eat him? Oh, yeah, we're not teabagging him while I eat him. That's nasty. Go, get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. You're in the way. I'm trying to eat this dude. Can you let me... Can you please let me be fucked up and sick and twisted? Okay, is blood boiling kind of like a sous vide? Yeah, it comes out all squishy, like the Starbucks egg bites. That's what it is. It's like one of the egg bites. Well. Okay. Oh, she's going in. Oh god, it's so fucking...
I am Namira.
She went in.
The Lady of Decay. Your consumption of the blood and bile of Arkay's own is pleasing to me.
Okay.
I give you my ring.
My ring.
Wear it, and when you feast on the flesh of the dead, I will grant you my power.
Okay. Thanks.
Wallow in your wretchedness, my newest champion.
Thank you. I will wallow in my wretchedness.
I knew when you walked into the Hall of the Dead.
Namira liked it, so she put a ring on it. Did I just get married? Okay. Shit. Alright. Anyway,
I knew when you walked into the Hall of the Dead that you were special. And here you are, champion of
all I
Namira,
did was eat a
keeper
guy.
of her ring.
You guys do that all the
Everything I
time.
hoped you'd
I feel like I'm underqualified. Yeah, okay. Vonnie, like I said, Vonnie would eat a person, but she'd be upset. I don't feel so good. Her tummy is rumbling.
There. It will pass. Going too long without a proper meal can make the stomach weak. Feel free to stay and mingle with your new couple.
I was kind of curious if she, like, started, like, saying she was sick, if they'd, like, turn on her or something, but I guess they're guess they're chill about it. So that's cool, I guess. I'm gonna walk around here real quick, see if there's any like artifacts lying around or anything like that. But
I'm so glad Ayola invited you to dinner.
wait, I can do the wait, I know you? I can do that? Holy shit. Wait, I know you.
One of my customers? Did you know I inherited the store from my late husband? Shame what
Wait, what happened to him?
He had such good taste.
Did you eat him? Oh, yeah, you ate your husband. That's kind of freaky. Okay.
Namira spoke to you? I knew this feast
Bloodiest
was going
beef
to be
in the
something.
reach. Bloodiest beef between... Oh, you can say that to all of them. Okay.
The bloodiest beef in the reach.
How do you not know you're eating a person? Well, actually, I feel like that happens... Okay, I want to say it happens a lot.
Given Namira's ring.
But, like...
A great honor.
Like, there's been a lot of cases like that where it's like, oh, we're eating human flesh.
You
But,
buy a
like...
war dog from me, there's a reason why my hounds are so eager to bite into people.
I don't know. I feel like it's like... If you were selling it, I feel like people would catch on. I don't know. I mean, like, I personally... I maybe I'm not educated enough on this topic. I haven't eaten a person, so, you know.
It's an honor.
But, wouldn't you know this? I don't know.
Be careful.
Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's very, very possible. So, you know. Is there a back entrance out of here? Can I, like, is there a shortcut? Or am I just gonna go the long way? Looks like we're going the long way. That's fine. But yeah, well, damn. That was, that sure was something. That wasn't too hard of a quest, though. That one was pretty easy. So let's see, which Daedra do we have left? I know there's still, like, some stuff for Sheagorth we have to get, but we did get the Wabbajack. I'm not sure what the other quest is. I'll have to look it up. But now we have to do, we did Namira. We still have to do Vermeera. We still have to do Molag Bal. We still have quite a few to do. You just walk past the shortcut out? Oh, god damn it. What's he putting in the meat in the shop? Maybe he's just, like, got a really good, like, a really kick-ass seasoning blend. And, like, maybe it's, like, a little off, but people are like, oh, but damn. It kind of goes hard, though. Like, maybe he's just got a really good barbecue dry rub going on, and no one notices because they're too busy focusing on his dry rub, you know? Alright, let's see. We'll go the long way. We're going the scenic route. It's not very scenic, but it is very route. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, anyway. In the hall. Ow! I'm stupid. It's okay. Scenic route. Scenic route. Right? Road trip. Ta-da! There we go. Right. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so we did get a good amount done today. We still have quite a few more Daedric quests to do. But I think we made a lot of good progress today, gamers. This was fun. So let me alt-tab real quick. And then let me do... Okay, back to my just chatting screen. Alright, let me do... Okay, perfect. Is it lined up? No, I'm not lined up. God damn it. Here we go. And whoop! There it is. Okay. Well, gamers, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. We still have a few more Daedra to go. We've got... Let me go down the list. Boethia. I think we did Clavicus Vile. We did Hermaeus Mora. I believe we did Hircine. We still have to do Malakath. We still have to do Maroon's Dagon. Mephala. We did Meridia. Molag Bal. Oh, if we want Nocturnal, we have to do the Thieves Guild stuff. Okay. Perriite we still have to do. Sanguine we have to do. And Vermeer we have to do. So we still have a lot to go. But that gives me a lot of time to keep testing the new mod list and waiting for Conquest of Skyrim to update. So like I said, it's not going to be like anytime soon that Vanya's going away. But we are like in the end game. You know what I mean? I'm still going to collect as many artifacts as I can. You know, but we're in the end game. You know? But gamers, thank you again for hanging out with me. I really hope you had fun. I really hope you had a good time. I was so glad to be back rimming the sky. I'm so glad to be back in Skyrim Sunday because we had a bit of a hard time my first stream back when I wanted to do Skyrim Sunday again. That was when I was having all those internet issues. But thankfully it's fixed now. Thankfully we got to the root of it. So I believe what we are going to do is we are going to get our raid message. We're gonna go raid Puds. Puds did the really beautiful art. If you watched my debut video, or if you were at the debut, she did the art for the starting soon screen. Let me see if I can show it to you actually. Hold on. It was really cool. Okay, I don't think I can do it on here, but that's okay. But she does some lovely art. She's so sweet. Please give her lots of love and affection. What should our raid message be? Do we want to just do cannibalism raid? What if we just spam bloodiest beef in the reach? That sounds really stupid. I kind of want to do it. Let me. She's a homie. She'll get it. Let me do this with the Vanya emote. There we go. Just. Actually, no. We'll do the Skyrim kaboot. Bloodiest beef between these cheeks. We'll do that. There's our raid message. I think you'll like it. There we go. If you haven't seen the Skyrim poop of that, please watch all of the Manslayer Skyrim poops. They're so fucking funny. All right, gamers, I am going to head out, and we are going to raid Puds. Like I said, please be really nice to her. Please give her lots of love and affection, and I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday we are doing our Ring Fit adventure. Are we doing Ring Fit Wednesday? We're doing something Wednesday. I know we were doing